And I assume that means that I start talking. So good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us this evening for this, Friday lockdown Q&A with members of our first team squad. I am Nick Draper, joined, as you can probably see, by Stuart Deacons and Anne-Marie Godfrey, and most importantly, Anthony Hartigan and Alex Woodyard. Gents, thank you very much for joining us and taking the time to speak to the fans on a Friday evening. I know it's not your typical Friday evening in lockdown, but I'm assuming, Alex, we don't have a game tomorrow, actually, do we? That's true. So
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So normally a Friday night with no game on the Saturday, are you? Do you normally get the opportunity to let your hair down a little bit, or is it all strict? Would it have been all strictly professional and in bed and in routine as normal?
Yeah, it's normal day-to-day routine, really. Nothing really changes from day to day into a night before a game. Just the same routine as I usually have.
We talk about routines. Anthony, you've been out of routine a bit under the weather. How are you feeling? How are you recovering?
Yeah, a lot better now than what I was before. But yeah, it's just good to be back in training. I was back in Monday, trained Monday, Tuesday, and I was in yesterday and today. So feeling good. Probably having a game, not having a game this weekend's give me a bit of time to train even more leading up to the next game. So I'm just looking forward to that, really.
You were saying that you were quite poorly with the COVID on that side of it. How easy is it in terms of training now? How easy is it go back into training? Have you got a different training plan at all?
Yes, it's quite difficult, to be fair. I've struggled a little bit, but obviously feeling back to myself. Just looking forward to training tomorrow, and then we're in Sunday, Monday, I think, as well. So it just gives me a lot of time to prepare for the game Tuesday if I'm needed. So.
Definitely.
Cool. Well, again, gents, thank you for joining us. We do have a live Q&A. So for those of you that are watching along, please make use of that. Send in your questions and we'll put them to Anthony and Alex. You've got the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. And you've also got the chat function, which I can see we've already got people on, which is great. I'm just trying to get it open on my screen so I can see it. So if you can use the Q&A for any questions, and we'll put them to Anthony and Alex. Alex, I'll come to you in a second, but Anthony, I'm going to give you a question and then I'm going to give you some time to ponder an answer, and then I'll come back to you. And I was just wondering if in your career to date, has there been a result that you've suffered or experienced that you've refused to recognise or refused to accept? I'll just give you some time to think about that one. But Alex, if I come to you, we've had a couple of questions in already from a fan from New Orleans in USA. This is Robert O'Shields. And he wanted to ask, what's the coldest match you've ever been part of?
Coldest? That's a tough one. Never been asked a question like that before.
I suppose, where are the coldest places that you ever played? So I suppose it must be up north somewhere.
Barrows and Morecambe's and
yeah,
places.
To be fair, Barrow was, I think Ant would agree. Barrow was fairly cold when we played them in the FA Cup. But it's only really cold when you get off the coach and then have a walk onto the pitch before the game. As soon as you start running around, I think the coaches and the fans are the ones who feel the cold more than the players do on the pitch.
Yeah, it's something that I've always said to you when we had a couple of years ago, we played, do you remember we played Blackburn? It's like a February midweek game, Kings Meadow. Absolutely freezing. I was trying to explain to everyone that I'd actually rather be one of you guys out on the pitch on a night like that, running around, getting the energy up, getting the heat up.
Yeah, definitely. As soon as you, I think you go out to the warm-up with loads of lads on, then after about 10, 15 minutes, you're taking it off and you end up in a T-shirt. So, yeah, it's the fans, coaches and the boys on the bench who you feel for on cold nights. I think the players warm up very quickly.
I'm going to get some heated seats put in to the dugout at Plough Lane. What conditions do you sort of favour? What's your favourite conditions to play in? Do you like the summer games where it's really hot, or do you like the all muddy and rainy and windy? What do you prefer?
I hate windy conditions. I think windy conditions are the worst to play in as a footballer. I think, the hot when it's summer, I think it can be quite tough as well because not only because of the heat, but I think the pitches can get quite hard. I think I like playing in the rain. I think rain's quite a good good condition to play in, as long as it's not absolutely hammering it down.
Driving it down,
But, yeah, with a bit of rain, you're not too hot, not too cold, and it puts a little bit of a, makes the pitch quicker. So yes, I like playing in the rain.
Of course. Right. Thank you, Alex. Anthony, any thoughts to any results that you've refused to accept, or you've been or on the wrong side of a controversial decision or anything like that comes to mind?
None that really come to the top of my head, but I've probably played in a few that we probably deserve to win, especially this season. I think when we've played really well and either drawn the game or not come away with anything, but like none that really stick out on the top of my head, to be fair.
I do have one, Stu, that I will run past you a second. But you mentioned there results this season. We've had a bit of a sticky patch of late. Do you think over the past half a dozen games or so, we've had a couple of games where you think you've come away from it and gone, how have we lost that one? I'm thinking perhaps Lincoln on the weekend, not an undeserved defeat. Maybe Oxford away after a poor start. We seem to boss long sections of that game. Yeah,
obviously them two stick out the most, I think, because they're most recent. But then, as you say, then there's been a lot of games where we have played really well. I don't think there's been any game where we haven't performed well this season. And probably sticking into mind one game where we did play really well and sort of thrown it away or whatever was probably Plymouth at home, where we were 4-2 up and then we ended up drawing the game 4-4. But looking back over the last 10 games, we've just been, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's not clinical enough. I just think like we haven't managed games well, and that's put us in the position we're in. I think we just need to, obviously we're working on it every day, so we just need to keep working at it and hopefully things will change.
That Plymouth game was quite interesting. George and I were lucky enough to be at the game. But how difficult was it at 4-2 to, because normally a home game, the crowd will be behind you. How difficult was it? Because 4-2 was a good lead, but Plymouth were always going to chuck his kitchen sink. Was it a weird one in terms of being 4-2 up and not being able to push on and not having the fans behind you?
Yeah, I think not having the fans has a massive difference in the way we play, because ever since I've come through Wimbledon, the fans have been amazing, like at home games and stuff, even away, like we travel in numbers. So we do miss that, but obviously there's no excuses really. Like we need to perform on the pitch and make it happen. We can't rely on anyone else. So yeah, that's it really.
Alex, does it affect you in terms of, your sort of style is getting amongst players, getting amongst tackles in and stuff like that. Is it a bit more difficult without fans? Not to motivate you, but do you know what I mean? Like when a game gets going, you're one that likes to do a tackle and stuff like that. Have you found that difficult?
Well, I think football as a whole, in the leagues across all the country, I think they've become more of a technical game. I don't think there is many. Many like 50-50 challenges. I think that side of football comes with the fans, and it's something that I've certainly missed. Is that sort of bite from the game. It's been I don't want to say it's boring, but it's definitely not the same. Football for me is all about the fans. That's why you play football. That's why we play at this level, is because of the fans. And for me, obviously, that for me as a player, yeah, it does play a big part. But I think I speak on behalf of all the boys. I think they'd much rather have fans in the stadiums, and hopefully we can soon.
Definitely.
It's actually a point that's been raised by Jane Lonsdale in the Q&A. She asked a question about crowds, how you feel about not having fans in the ground. She asks, Anthony, I'll start with you. Is there a positive in the fact that sometimes it can be helpful not to have the negativity that sometimes comes with an atmosphere? We have experienced it in the past, I think, and there's a very famous incident I remember from a couple of years ago where, despite the fact that we actually won a game, but the crowd were not enthused by the performance, and there was a bit of a really tense negative atmosphere in the stadium. Does it help sometimes with that not being an element, or was it? Do you take that because the flip side is when you do get a really good crowd, really positive energy?
I think it depends who you are, really. Some players might take more risks because they're not afraid of like fans being on their back or whatever. But I don't know. Like for myself, I don't really think it makes a difference. Like not playing with fans. Obviously, I want the fans there and stuff like that. But in terms of performance and stuff, it doesn't change the way I approach a game. I just approach the game the same and try and give it my all anyway, with the fans there or not. Like because the result will make them happy at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we totally get that. We've got loads of questions actually coming in on the Q&A. So let's start. Anthony, the first one's directed to you. It's from Francis Wiggins. And he says, what's been your favourite moment so far playing for Wimbledon?
There's been a few, to be fair. Thinking about this the other day, one that probably stands out in my head was coming on at Wembley against Spurs. That was a big one for me. Obviously, my debut as well. That was a very proud moment. And I think through everything, for the whole 3 or 4 years I've been involved, that Bradford game was probably one that sticks out for me. Like the relief and that feel of achievement after that, everything we went through was something I haven't experienced before. So them three probably.
I was thinking we were going to speak to you a little while ago, actually, on the podcast, and I was just thinking back to memories of you in a Wimbledon shirt. There was two that immediately sprang to mind. Goal against Fleetwood in the FA Cup. Yeah. Is that you sort of just passed that one into the net? Is that an instinctive thing? Did you have much time to weigh up your options there, or was it just that was the only option in your head when it came to you?
I think it was just something I knew I was going to do. As Kwesi got the ball, like arrived in the box, and I knew if the weight of pass was right, then that's where I was going to put it. But obviously, I know for myself it's something I need to add to my game more. Something I've done for Robbo as an under 18, like as an under 16, coming through the academy. I scored a lot of goals, and it's something I'm trying to add to my game in the first team as well.
It's interesting you say that, actually, because I used to go down and watch some of the youth games before the Saturday games, and I scored. I think it was against. It might have been with Gillingham or Portsmouth when you score from the halfway. You literally just scored from the halfway line.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was, but that was a really strong part. Obviously, in that sort of under 16, under 18, you stood out massively in terms of dominating games and that. Has that, in terms of your goal scoring, has it been impacted by going into the first team, or do you not shoot as much? Because obviously, in terms of the Fleetwood goal, it was a great finish. You have got that. You've got that ability to score. Or is it more of a case of the role you play is a bit more further deeper at the moment?
Yeah, that's what I think it is. Probably the role I play, like the style of play. With Robbo, I was probably more freer to break forward and get in shooting areas and stuff and express myself a bit more. But obviously, with the first team, it is a little bit different. Like the way we play, my role in the team, I'm sort of like the base of the three in the middle. So it's picking and choosing when the times are right to go forward and stuff. But obviously, I've had shots and stuff still. I still get in positions to score. It's just converting them.
So I did ask for some questions from players because I thought it'd be nice to get some player questions. I'm not going to tell you who they've come from, but one for Alex. What type of manager would you be, Mike Bassett or Pep Guardiola?
I know this is from. I think I'd be a bit of both, to be honest.
What bits would you take out of Pep Guardiola's?
I think obviously it's an easy one. Obviously, you'd rather be Pep. I'd take probably Bassett's banter. But who did you say? Mike Bassett?
Mike Bassett, yeah.
Yeah, probably take Bassett's banter, but obviously Pep's footballing brain.
And also, what's your favourite drill?
What, in training?
Yeah.
I don't mind a passing drill. I like passing drills. Something probably not a lot of players do like, but I enjoy doing passing drills if they're done at a good quality and a good standard. Yeah, then passing drill definitely.
Cool.
Who did you think those questions were from, Alex?
Pigs.
Stu?
No, they're not actually. Pigs wasn't one of them.
Who was it? Can we reveal their identity?
Well, there are a mixture of questions from Luke O'Neill, Callum Riley, and Shane.
Right.
So, yeah. Yeah. Obviously, one for you, Annie. Terrell said you never hit the crossbar in Crossbar Challenge. Is it true?
You'll have to ask him for yourself.
Is he trying to stitch you up there, is he?
I don't know if he's being truthful or not. In my opinion, like, I'll probably say different, but everyone's entitled to their opinion. So,
Superb.
We've got another question from Anthony, actually, and apologies if I pronounce this incorrectly, which I'm bound to, from Laurent Guybut. I hope that's correct. He has asked, is it true, Anthony, that you sometimes run home after games?
no, that's not true.
Is that? I don't know where that's come from.
I think that come out from the gaffer in an interview.
Yes, of
When
course.
was that
yes.
after the Peterborough game? I played
That's right.
quite a lot of games in a short amount of days. So, yeah, that's not true.
No. Alex, if I come back to you, this is from Stephen Godfrey. Anne-Marie, is that a relation?
Yeah, we should kick him out the Zoom meeting. That's my dad, and I know exactly why he's asked that question.
He's asked Alex, have you ever met a referee that you agree with? Bearing in mind that Anne-Marie, you are a qualified referee, have I got this correct?
Yeah, it's just my dad trying to stitch me up. Sorry, Alex.
We all hate referees. Absolutely every single one of us. So free reign, Alex.
Do you know what? It's actually got to the stage now. I'm actually getting called by my first name by referees because so I'm on first name with the referees at the minute. But I don't know. I think it's just I want to win the game so much that sometimes I just end up I don't row them, but I'm just fighting for every decision which the referees given against us. And yeah, I think sometimes it can go against me because a few times this year I think maybe I've got a bit of a reputation now that they're just giving me cards for any little thing. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, got nothing bad against referees. With some you do notice a difference when the game's getting refereed by a good one and a bad one, and there's definitely more good referees now than there is than bad, so it's a good thing.
Do you subscribe to the theory that poor decisions even themselves out over the course of the season?
I think every team gets that little bit of luck, don't they? I definitely think there's some decisions this year which have gone against us. And for example, Lincoln's second goal at the weekend, the other day, sorry, it's for me, it's a foul on Shane on the lead up. So that's one we got to take. But hopefully we get that luck, in the next games to come.
With that one on Shane on Saturday against Lincoln, did you get an explanation about that? Because it did look like a one where you would normally expect play to stop.
Yeah, as soon as the defender's got his body, between the ball and the defender, and he goes down, for me it's a foul all day long. But no, we didn't get an explanation. Maybe the gaffer did after the game, but for me, it's definitely a foul. They get given all day long on another day.
Anthony, we've got an interesting question here. Discussing formations, which is a big topic of conversation in the fan base at the moment. Discussing perhaps the merits, shall we say, of a 4-5-1 formation. For your position, for your role in the team, we've been 3-5-2 pretty much for the duration of the season. If we were to switch, say, to a 4-5-1, do you think it would actually change your role particularly? Considering, would you still not be in sort of a 3-man midfield with 2 wide players going forward?
I think it depends what the gaffer wants, really. I don't really know. Obviously, depends if he wants to play a 1 and a 2 or a 2 and a 1. Like I feel the qualities I have, I can play anywhere in and around the 3. So it just would just be dependent on what the gaff would ask of me.
What's the difference in 4-5-1 and 4-3-3? People probably watching thinking that's a really stupid question, but I'm just thinking back to our days, and Stu will back me up on this, when we had Egil Olsen come in charge when we were in the Premier League.
And we played, going back a bit.
It is. We played a 4-3-3, but the two wide strikers were essentially would push back and it'd become a 4-5-1 pretty easily. Is there a great difference between the two, or do we as fans concentrate too much on formations?
Yeah, I think that is probably more of what everyone thinks. Like, it doesn't really. Well, obviously, it does matter on what formation you play, but it's how you play it. And obviously, like you say, there's not really much difference between the two, but they can convert really quick. Like you say, a 4-3-3 can revert to a 4-5-1. Like, it just depends how you play.
Go on, Stu. Sorry.
I was going to say, I couldn't stop. This question was funny for me. Following on, Gary Fletcher, Alex, how many bookings are you trying to reach this season?
Getting all the stick for the bookings today. I tell you.
I asked it because I thought it was quite funny. You surely don't have a target. Do you have a target? Do you have a minimum target? Like, in terms of that side?
Funny enough, I'm actually very lucky. I've got a bonus for yellow cards this year. So the more yellow cards, I'm only joking. I don't want to miss, another game through suspension. So, I definitely don't want to be getting too many yellow cards. To be honest, this is for the, I think once before in my career I've been unable to play through suspension. So it's not a thing which happens often. Yeah, I do pick up yellow cards, but not as many as probably you think, because I'm the way I'm going at the minute. Another thing as well, going back to with fans, some of them decisions might not have been given with this fans in the stadium. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's another thing why you want fans, because especially when you're playing at home and you got the fans behind you, you get decisions, don't you? Going back to the foul on Shano, you're telling me, on that side, the fans ain't jumping up, it gets given. So we got to get on with it, but it's not the same. That's fact. Like I said, football's not the same without fans, and it never will be.
Yeah, I must admit, from a personal point of view, Nick and I probably agree on this one, is that sometimes through the years we have been too nice as a team. So actually, I have no problem you fouling people and getting bookings. I have no problem at all with that. It's part and parcel of the game, isn't it? To get amongst that side of it. Out of curiosity, so you've had a suspension for 5. The next one is 10, isn't it? In terms of that, a 2 match, is it?
Yeah, I think I was obviously. I think it's 5 bookings. So I got done. My 5th bookings one was on the 18th game. I think it's saying like if you get 5, if you get to 19 games without getting 5 bookings, I think it gets wiped.
Yeah, so you missed it by 1 game.
Yeah. Just it so happened to be Boxing Day, which I got a bit of stick for.
Of course.
Superb.
Right, Anthony. Anak Teasdale has asked. Well, she's prefaced this question. Recently, we've witnessed Mark Wright, the TV personality, become a professional footballer for Crawley Town. I think this happened with was it someone in One Direction for Doncaster at some point as well? Tomlinson, was it? If memory serves. I'm struggling because Mark Wright to me is the former Liverpool centre half with the comb over. But Anthony, would you like to become a famous reality TV star? And if so, which reality TV show would you go on?
To be fair, I don't really think that's my cup of tea. Becoming a reality TV star, but
no, mine.
I don't know about that one.
If you had to go on one, what would you go on? Like Strictly, or I'm a Celebrity, or The Circle, our favourite on the podcast?
Yeah.
I don't know, if I can be a judge or something, I'd go on maybe the X Factor or Britain's Got Talent, something like that. Something to keep me entertained.
That'd be a great one to do, wouldn't it? I'd just keep pressing the button all the time. There's some dodgy acts on there, aren't there?
I'm just thinking back to, was it Bravo, Stu? Remember Bravo on cable TV had Fash FC? Used to play, it was like a reality TV where John Fashanu managed a Sunday League team. They played all their games at Hendon's ground and they followed it along. Yeah, that's going back a good 20 odd years now, isn't it?
I was going to say, showing your age there, haven't I? So we're gonna start a quiz. I think we'll do one more question, Nick, and then we'll start a quiz.
Oh, yeah. Cool. I will leave you to decide which question you would like to ask.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah, just like passing the buck.
Let's have a look here. What have we got? So good question from Mark Woodhead. Anthony, I think you played every minute of all of these 5 or 6 games in November, December. So is it Lucasade or Iron Broom?
Probably Lucasade.
In terms of, I know we're a lot more professional now, definitely going through the leagues, and we've done a lot of good work behind the scenes. Those run of games, did you have to have certain fluids and recovery? What was the recovery like for those games? Because they were very quick, weren't they? I know a lot of teams now you see in the Premiership, they come off and they've got fluids and stuff like that. Are we anywhere like that at all? Or
yeah, we got a few like recovery stuff, like gels. We have before games like hydration tablets, protein shakes, all that sort of stuff. And all the boys go to this thing called cryotherapy, and that's basically like a cold ice chamber, and it helps with muscle recovery and all that sort of stuff. So between them run of games, I think all the boys are just hammering all the products and all the sort of stuff to make sure they're right. And we were in virtually every day to recover, whether that's like on the bike, massages, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I think that run of games was probably more tough for me mentally than physically. Obviously, It was just like such quick turnarounds through games. It would be like a game in the next day to train and then prepare for another game straight away. So yeah, obviously I'm only 20, I'm a young fit lad, and it was probably more mentally tough than physically.
Alex, what about you? Do you have to go in the old ice bar? Is it as cold as, there's been things you see where they're ridiculously cold with the boxes and stuff like that. Is that a similar thing?
Oh yeah, that ice chamber's off key. It's hard work, but to be honest, it's a good tool for us to use. It does help massively. All the boys dread it. I think you've got to really tilt yourself up when you first go in. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough going, but it really, really helps. I get a lot of benefits from it, and I'm sure the other boys do as well.
How long you got to stay in there, or do they have a certain time, or do you find out do the next person?
I think it's about 3 minutes. I think the guy takes our body temperatures. I think I'm normally around about 33 degrees. And then I think, and what is it? You normally lose about, I think I usually come out about 17 degrees. So
yeah, something like that.
You lose a fair bit, do you know what I mean? But yes, it's proper cold. I think if you ever get the opportunity, you should definitely try it.
I've seen it on TV. I've seen it with some of the boxers, and it looks ridiculous in terms of that side.
To be fair, I struggle to last 3 minutes in most things. So
I was going to say, you can't deal with a Saturday football match, can you, to be fair? So
no, this is very true.
Right, okay. So we've got, I don't know if George, are you ready? We've got a picture. So what we basically, the rules of this is we're going to do picture quiz, which we will have a picture of a player that will be blocked out, so you can't see who they are. You've got to guess who they are. It's 2 points for every correct answer. And then after that, we're going to do a home and away quiz, which would be alternate players on that side of it. And we'll go through there. George, do you want to do the first picture?
I know who this is because I was there on the day.
Go on, Ant.
It's Rudy, innit?
Correct. I did leave the hair in just as a little bit of a yeah, that's correct.
Ollie.
Yeah.
I didn't try and make them too hard for you. And a third one.
That's what she said.
Yeah, Luke O'Neill.
All three. Well done. Superb. Okay, so that's maximum points. So the next one is going to be, we'll start with Alex, you can have the first question. So basically, you can go home or away. Home is a 1 point.
Hold on, Stu. I've got to interrupt at this point. So there are two things. All right. Before we continue, you should say that the winners. We'll do this with every pair to this evening, won't we?
Oh yes, of course.
Yes. So the winning pair gets to set a forfeit for the two losing pairs. That's correct. And that will be done in training at some point.
Yeah, and we'll get Rocket to record it.
Yeah. The second thing we've got to say, Stu, can you explain how you came to producing this quiz that you're about to give the questions?
Yeah, well, I didn't finish work till 6, so I did rush through
excuses.
I ran through the questions, and we realised when we started, I hadn't actually got the answers. That was a bit of a schoolboy error, but we had a bit of fun trying to get the answers on them. So yes, thanks Nick for that.
Anytime.
So yeah, what we do is before each question, you can go home for 1 point, or you can go away for 3 points. Naturally, the home question will be an easier question, and the away will be a tough one. Whoever, Alex, you can start by picking home and away, but you both can confer for the answer. Just thinking, actually, have you thought about a forfeit that you would like to set for the other two pairs that lose? What forfeit would you like to provide to the losers?
I don't know. I think you can't beat like cleaning your boots after training for a week, can you?
For a week, I like that.
Yeah, that's not a bad one.
Good. You happy with that, Anthony?
Yeah, my boots need cleaning anyway. So.
George, can you log that, please? Just so. And by the way, this was Ollie. Ollie Palmer was the one that wanted a prize. So yes, it'll be quite interesting to see if he's on the losing end of that. Okay. So Alex, home or away?
Let's go away.
Okay. What club did we sign Che Alexander from?
Barnet.
Correct. 3 points. And Anthony, what do you want to do? Home or away?
I'll go away as well.
Okay. How many games have we drawn this season in the league?
Any clues, or is it just straight guess?
Do you want to give a clue, Nick?
How many games have you played? 20?
We played 22. So yeah, we played 22 games this season. There you go. That's a clue. So it's how many of those 22?
It's 5 and 3.
And lower than 10, or?
No,
I think I know. It's definitely lower than 10.
I think I know it.
I'll say 5.
I'm saying 6.
Spot on.
6.
6
Yeah.
draws.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Not that any 6 draws, yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
Good.
Yeah, 6 draws definitely. George, you obviously make sure you keep the scores for us. Who's next? It's Alex, isn't it? Home or away?
Go away.
Okay. Who finished bottom of the League One last season, excluding Bury, who unfortunately were excluded? Who finished bottom?
Southend United.
Is that your final answer? I should have said that, by the way, because I just
Yeah, you should have said that.
careful,
That's sort of a bit of a giveaway, isn't it, mind?
Southend, Tranmere, Bury, and who was the other team who went down?
Gonna have to rush you 10 seconds.
Bradford.
Ooh, Bolton Wanderers.
Oh, Bolton Wanderers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they got the points deduction, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so where are we on? We're on 4th question now. Anthony, home or away?
I'll go away again.
How many bookings did Alex Woodyard get last season in all competitions? I'm honestly not picking on bookings. I'm honestly not picking on them. That's all competitions, all clubs, obviously, you played.
What are you trying to say? Just guess, and that's no more than, I'd say it's between 5 and 8.
I'll go 7.
Just out, Nick, wasn't it? It was 6.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was 6.
Half dozen
It
again.
was 6. Okay, final
Okay.
question. Alex, home or away?
How many points we got here?
George, how many points we got?
That is a good question. They're on 10 so far.
Okay.
Ooh.
This
Sorry,
go away.
12.
12. Let's go away.
Okay. Who did Callum Riley score his only goal this season against?
Blackpool.
Correct. Superb. So, George, what do you finish on?
So 15.
Superb.
Good start.
Good target. A good target to set. Nick, we got any more questions that are coming?
Yeah, we'll get a couple more questions in from the viewers. Adam Harwood, just because Alex, you mentioned there about Tranmere going down in the end. Have you had any sort of banter from the Tranmere squad about joining us this season after what happened last year? Is that anything that's been is that discussed at all?
Nah, not really. I think it was just, I think it was just one of those things. I think it was from being in the changing room and being at the club at the time at Tranmere. I definitely felt the club had enough to survive, but it's one of those things. There was a major pandemic. People were dying, and whatever decision they decided to make, people were going to come out of it in a bad way. So, the way Tranmere is a club, they'll come back fighting, and they definitely deserve to be a League One football club.
And Rob Borland asks both of you. I'll start with you, Anthony. Which former Wimbledon player would you love to have alongside you in midfield?
I'll probably say Danny Ballman because I didn't play with him. He's a completely different character to what I am, but just got bags of experience, and I think I could learn a lot from him. Obviously, I played against him against Crawley in the FA Cup, and he was giving me a bit of stick during the game. But I just think obviously I cleaned his boots as well coming through as an apprentice. Right. So I had quite a good relationship with him, but I didn't really train with him much. But
what do you think his secret is at playing that? Was he now 41, 42? Is he? What do you think is it his training routine? Is he obviously the older you get, do they specialise in training? But what's his secret? Do you think?
Probably just looking after himself as much as possible. He seemed like quite a professional guy. When I was coming through, he's someone I looked up to. Obviously, see him in the gym doing his work all the time and looking after himself. So probably that.
Very dry sense of humour as well. Alex, not just women players. Which player in history? Any player throughout history that you'd like to have been able to play alongside in midfield?
Obviously there's the obvious ones, but probably Scott Parker, because growing up I was a Charlton fan. He was definitely someone I used to enjoy watching. Definitely I'd say Scott Parker.
I'm told he's a very good-looking man. I'm told.
Yeah.
And doing a decent job in charge at Fulham now.
Yeah, it just seems like a great guy, doesn't he? When he comes across, in interviews and things like that. I think he's going to have a successful managerial career as well.
Yeah, definitely has that sort of aura, that vibe about him. Stu, I think. Dominic Francis finally asks.
I was going to say this is quite a good question, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Alex, Anthony, you can answer this. It could just be a one-word answer if you like. Dominic wants to know, have you ever used the line, "Do you know who I am and who I play for?" And what was the outcome if you did?
Nah, definitely not. I think if someone said that to me, they're going to be on the floor. That's embarrassing.
You never tried to get into a restaurant or anything?
Nah, I don't think we can. I don't think that's the right thing to say.
Well, I think you can use that when the Flower Lane opens up in the bar and stuff like that, and the pub.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Just very quickly, what are you making of the ground? Obviously, it's changing every time, isn't it? Every time you go back, it seems to be something different has been done. What's your thoughts on it at the moment? That's to Alex, sorry.
Yes, I think I remember saying it in another interview before. from when we first went there to what it is now, it's got better every single time, and yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? I think everyone who's been there, everyone who's been lucky enough to have been there, they've seen what a great stadium it is. But like I keep saying, an empty stadium's nothing, is it? So this is try and get all the fans back in, and they'll all share that proud moment.
Definitely. And Anthony, obviously for yourself, you've been here for a long time. Obviously, you've heard about Plough Lane and stuff like that. As Alex said, actually, it is a stadium at the moment. But how are you feeling when you're playing there?
Yeah, obviously, it's what it's been drilled into me from a young age, and it's like obviously now seeing it and being able to play there is amazing. Seeing how far it's come, hearing about all their plans and stuff, and to actually see it is just something else. It won't be the same until all the fans can come in and experience it for themselves, because they're the ones that have worked hard for it.
I have to say, how have you found the parking? Or you've been coming by coach, is that right at the moment? Because there's not a lot of parking around it. It's a busy area, isn't it?
Yeah, first couple of times we had to go by a coach, like all the boys went together, but now there's like a little space for parking and stuff, so it's not too bad now. But I don't know about when the fans come in, it's going to be so busy.
I have no idea how that is. Nick, what about you? It's going to be like that. It's a busy area at the best of times, isn't it? And that's going to be absolute chaos.
Yeah, there'll be no moving traffic at any point, I don't think. I think away coaches are going to have to get a police escort that somehow clears the road about 3 hours before kickoff. But hey, we'll worry about that when we can get fans back in. Anthony, Alex, thank you very much. Much appreciated for taking the time this evening. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Cheers.
You set the standard with 15 for our little game. And yeah, just wish you all the best then for the remainder of the season. Starting off next week, of course, it's Sunderland, isn't it? So that's the next big one we're looking forward to.
Yeah, perfect. Cheers
Cool.
for that.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank
Cheers.
you.
Hope everyone stays safe. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank
And you.
Cheers.
Take care. So we can see that we've got Jack Rudoni and Ethan Chislett joined us.
Yeah.
We're waiting
So
for them.
how are we going to do this? Are we taking a pause? Because I was going to duck out at this point and hand over to Aaron and Anne Marie.
So Aaron's running a little bit late.
Struggle, yeah.
Yeah, Aaron's running a bit late, so I'm happy to stay on with Anne Marie. That's all right.
If you're happy to do that, I shall leave
You can go for a bit of break and sort your hair out and stuff like that. Can't you?
No chance.
Saying defend me against these referee questions. I mean, I can't get stitched up like that again.
So just make sure
it was always going to happen, wasn't it?
Everyone watching will, I'm sure, pay heed to that, Anne Marie, and not ask any questions about referees whatsoever. Not at all. Not.
I don't know why I ever thought you would defend me. I'm sure.
Cool. So we're expecting Aaron will be joining us very soon. He's a busy person at the moment. Anyone who's had a chance, have a listen to his podcast, 72 Plus. Very good listen. Darren McAntony and Ryan Lake from Plymouth. So if you haven't had a chance to listen to that, it's very, very good.
George was saying he made his Radio 5 Live debut yesterday.
Did you really?
His first cap. Yeah, I believe so.
The dulcet tones of Aaron.
Aaron Paul.
So yeah.
Yes. No surname, but a nice guy.
Definitely. So yeah, I'll stay on until Aaron comes and joins us. And Nick, you can go and have a break.
I shall pop back in 15.
Super. Thank you very much. Okay, so next on is Jack Rudoni and Ethan Chislett. Guys, I'm not too sure if you're available just yet. To see them here. Okay.
Hiding.
They're definitely hiding. Here we are. There's Ethan Chislett and Jack Rudoni. Hi guys. Thank you for joining.
Right, guys.
Hello, how's it going?
Good, thanks. How are you lot?
Yeah, all good.
Yeah,
So,
good.
Yeah, so thanks for joining us. So obviously we've just been joined by Alex Woodyard and Annie Hartigan. We're doing a little quiz with both pairings. So each pair is going to have a quiz, and the winning players can set a forfeit for the losing pairs in training. So you'll be glad to know that a very tough score of 15 has been set already.
Is that good?
Hartigan. That's pretty good. So whilst we obviously ask these questions, have a think about if you are successful and win tonight, what you would want your other pairings to do as a forfeit. The one that's been offered by Alex Woodyard and Anthony Hartigan have said that they would like the losing players to clean their boots for a week.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
I'll take a full tub of petrol.
Cool. If Ethan, you're happy with that, like I say, we can definitely. Mark Robinson, we've definitely asked him to make sure he can make sure that happens. So yeah, definitely.
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
You said it was Ollie Palmer's idea, so it might end up backfiring on him.
Hopefully.
Good luck getting him to clean your boots. Huh?
Yeah, no chance of that. Yeah.
Whether that'll happen or not. Anyway, guys, how you getting on in terms of, obviously we've had a bit of a break because of the Lincoln game, and we've got the Wigan game that's been postponed again on that side of it. How have you found it in terms of have you been in action? And Jack, have you been in action with training? What's training been like whilst the games have not been played?
Well, we just had a few days off recently. We're back to training tomorrow, but I've been taking along, gone for a run, done a little bit on my own, but because we had a tough session on Tuesday, so that's why they gave us 3 days off, because of the postponement of the game and stuff like that. So I've been doing a little bit, just ticking over, and so we're back to training tomorrow.
And Ethan, what about yourself in terms of, does the rest, there's been a lot of games recently, isn't there? A lot of travelling.
Yeah.
So is that rest really appreciated now? Or are you a person that would just rather crack on, keep training?
I think there's obviously pros and cons to both. I think obviously after a loss, I think you almost want to get the next game to kind of get that win. And get the kind of winning kind of momentum back in the camp. But I think it's been good. Training's been very good. All the boys have been at it, and I think after a break, I think we'll all come back fresh, both physically and mentally. Obviously got Bristol on Tuesday, unless it gets obviously cancelled or postponed. But I think it's generally quite a positive thing.
Obviously, we've got the little mini competition tonight with the forfeit. And Ethan, you're saying there that you're trying to keep the winning mentality in the camp. Do you guys have sort of mini competitions between yourselves in training, or do you? Because I guess as nature as a professional footballer, you're all going to be competitive guys. You have your own little things in training, or
to be fair, me and Jack often do, like, if we're doing shooting. We always kind of go to each other and let's have a competition between us. So there's always little bits of competition within the squad, and I think obviously that's incredibly beneficial. So,
I mean, the rumour was going around on the last one that Mr. Anthony Hartigan's never hit the crossbar in the crossbar challenge. Was this
really?
rumour spread by Terrell? Is that right, Stu? Was that what you were saying?
I don't know where this crossbar challenge is. I haven't been called up to play it, but I don't know where that's come from.
Do you think you win it, Jack?
Yeah, I think I would.
Ethan, what about yourself?
No, I'd win as well. Yeah, I'd win that.
Any questions? Let's have a look here. I was going to ask this question. It's a question that was asked before, actually. For Ethan, what's your favourite Wimbledon moment so far? And this is from Francis Wiggins.
There's been quite a few. I think obviously scoring so quickly on my debut has got to be up there. Obviously it would have been better with the fans there and stuff like that, so you get the real atmosphere, but nevertheless it was still a special moment for me. And also, I mean, the goal against was it Rochdale late on, where obviously Rudy was the one who assisted me at that point. Obviously it coming so late and it meaning that we could bring back 3 points. So yeah, those two kind of stand out for me personally.
What about yourself, Jack?
For me, there's my full debut away Bristol Rovers on Boxing Day. That's always going to be probably one of the highest moments, because just the atmosphere, everything, got the 3 points, my first start, and sort of what started off my career with Wimbledon properly. So that's my happiest memory so far.
And that was a comeback. Is that right? A comeback? We won 3-1 up there.
Yeah, we went 1-0 down. I think it was a penalty just before half time. and then came out second half. I think Nesta got one or two. He might have got both the assists actually, but I remember them coming from that side, pigs and fourths. But yeah, just the celebrations, the fans and everything in that. I remember the corner where the fans are, and it's a standing zone as well as the seating. And I just remember going over and doing a knee slide and just everything was quality.
Did you have a celebration in mind, did you?
Me? No, I didn't actually, but I just went over, I remember just running over to force and knee sliding with him. But yeah, that was a good memory.
Cameron, I'm not too sure. Have you been to Bristol Rovers previously?
I've been to Bristol Rovers.
Yes.
I have indeed, and I got
that away end is not.
I got so soaked in the away end that I had to go into Primark in town after the match to go buy some dry clothes because I was so cold. That is what I do for the love of the club, for the love of the shirt.
Do you know what? I have to laugh. My wife went to Bristol Rovers many years ago, and behind the end, you only got that marquee end behind the goal, haven't they? But the seat we had was basically where the only hole was, and it was torrential rain. And my wife just left at half time. She left. But the good thing was actually is that she was able to get the car around to the away end, so actually we got a speedy getaway. So yeah, it wasn't too bad in that on that side. Even I was just saying, thinking about obviously it's been difficult, isn't it, with no crowds and stuff like that, and you know, you're yet to experience the Wimbledon fan base and stuff like that. How's it been then when you scored? Because obviously that's scored on your debut and a winner at Rochdale. How's it been without that fan base? Have you been able to set yourself targets? And also a couple of questions in here, but has it made it easier to step up to League One, or do you think it would have helped with the fans in there behind you?
No, I believe that with fans, it kind of drive most players on. I think for me especially when you're in kind of maybe 3 or 4 minutes you haven't kept the ball well, or you've given the ball away a few times, and you feel that disappointment from the fans. You just want to play well and do it for them type thing. So there's obviously that good pressure behind it. But yeah, it's weird scoring without fans. It's not something that I want to get particularly used to. But as you can see from my Rochdale celebration, I don't really have a set celebration in mind. So it's just kind of my mentality just takes over, and I just obviously Ollie Palmer's ripping my shirt off. And
I was just going to say, wasn't it Ollie not letting you go anywhere?
Yeah, in the end I just gave up because I wasn't getting anywhere. So
obviously when the fans are there, do you have a terrace song from any of your other clubs? Is there a song you're going to have? So when we're back, have you got a song that people chant, or is there the one that you've had in the past that people have sung about your name?
When I was at Aldershot, obviously because I'm relatively local to them, it was Ethan Chislett, one of our own. So that got sung quite a bit. And that, obviously it's a nice feeling when the fans are singing your name and stuff like that. But other than that, none really. So
what have you found that sort of the biggest change then from coming from Aldershot into League One? Obviously, I should imagine it's quite a different setup day to day.
Actually, to be fair, obviously the intensity of training and stuff like that and the way they kind of manage the players is different. But we had a similar kind of schedule. So we'd be training the exact same days for basically the exact same hours. Game normally Saturday, Tuesday as well. It was quite a hectic schedule at Aldershot. So yeah, it has been difficult to an extent. I think players are the players are coming potentially down from the Premier League or Championship. So you get players that are, I think, intellectually further ahead than players you get, for example, National League. And I think that's probably the biggest difference is the speed of thought. So yeah, I'd probably say speed of thought is the biggest difference.
Cool. Just going through some questions. Are either of you guys FIFA players?
Yeah, I play FIFA a bit.
Okay, so Rob Borland, when you play FIFA, do you ever select the Dons and then edit a team and add any players?
No, I don't. To be fair, I don't really play kickoff. I play Ultimate Team. So in my Ultimate Team, I I have myself on the bench because I'm not. My card's not really up to standard right now, so I think I need to speak to EA about that. But I have my set team, and then they bring me off the bench if we're 3-0 up or something. But I don't really get a chance to play with.
Is it weird
you say?
yourself on a computer game? It must be strange.
Yeah, at first, yeah, it kind of is. But I was buzzing to be fair. I have a FIFA card. I've been waiting for that.
Have you got it yet?
I haven't actually got the actual card, but I've got a card on the game. Yeah, I think I got an upgrade from. What was I last year? I was 52 last year. Now I'm 58, so not too bad.
Ethan, what about yourself? Have you made your debut yet on FIFA? Have you played yourself?
I haven't played this FIFA, if I'm honest, which is weird because it's the first time I'm probably on it. So yeah, I usually like FIFA, play it a bit, but I wouldn't say I'm particularly great.
So you haven't had a competition yet between players, and has that been a
No, not yet.
No.
I think there's a couple like proper players. I know that PK plays it a lot, but I haven't played any of them.
Didn't Paul Cannonbay play as part of the Wimbledon fans? Is that right, Anne-Marie, if I remember properly?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, he was terrible.
It was on Twitch, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was terrible. Did you give him a stick?
Yeah, I gave him a stick, and he tried to say that it was because West Ham were using like a pro player or something, but I think he just got outplayed, to be honest.
Superb.
So Matt Jennings has popped a question on there, which is, I guess, if Jack tries this first. So, what midfield players do you aspire to be like in your playing style?
The one midfield I've always like looked at is like an admirer is Zidane. I think Zidane's like on the ball. I'm not sure if there's anyone ever better. Like you look at Messi and stuff. Like I think he's on par with Messi with his ball control and everything. So Zidane. Right now, I like Goretzka a lot. I like he's good box to box. And then if we're talking like attacking midfield, I'm liking Bruno Fernandes right now. So they're the three I'd say.
He's unbelievable this season, isn't he? But
yeah.
We'll see what Glenn can do this transfer window.
On a free, maybe. You never know.
Yeah.
What about you, Ethan? Have you any midfielders that you aspire to be like, or some people who've influenced you?
I've always liked David Silva. I think for me, he's probably the best player that's played in the Premier League for me personally. I just kind of watching him play, especially when City were winning back-to-back. I think under Mancini, when they were winning back-to-back titles, and yeah, I thought he's just unbelievable. Obviously, the standard answer is probably Messi, but he's just a god. So yeah, probably those two are the kind of stand out for me. Iniesta as well. Obviously, I put in there.
Yeah, Iniesta.
Yeah, I must admit, I've been lucky. I've been to Nou Camp loads of times. Been lucky enough to go, and I went one year. They won 5-0, and Iniesta and Messi both scored in the game. And I was actually in the corner on the bottom of the corner flag. They all ran over to the flag. I have to say, I was like a little kid. I was
I was the same. I watched because obviously I had a spell in Spain, and I was lucky enough to go watch Messi, and it's something different live. I don't think you really appreciate until you go see him live.
It is unbelievable. I was lucky enough to see Messi, Suarez, and Neymar.
Yeah.
And I have to say, it was just breathtaking. I saw Neymar stand someone up and then go past him as if it wasn't anything. And amazing side of it.
To be honest, we haven't seen Wimbledon play in so long. By the time we get back, that's how we'll all feel seeing you guys. Just to be back there at Plough Lane seeing everyone. I mean, there was so much buzz around last summer when we signed you, Ethan, and you must be like really excited to play in front of fans when we get to that stage eventually at Plough Lane Stadium.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's something that drives any player on. So yeah, it's weird. I think I'll be so nervous when I hear the fan. You know, when you're warming up and it's that kind of pre-game atmosphere, I think the nerves will start to kick in, and Rudy knows as well. It's different without fans. It's nowhere near the same. It's almost like a different sport in some ways. So.
What are the main differences on that? One, I've been lucky enough to go to a few games, and one of the things that I noticed is the tempo. It seems like a slower tempo, and think Alex Woodyard was just saying beforehand, it's become more technical, a sort of game rather than. What have you noticed? What are the biggest differences that you've noticed in the game? Go to you, Jack.
I'm not really sure because I probably would agree. Like it is a bit slower and it's more about, and sometimes it's not as intense. Like when the crowd's behind you, you always get that extra like 10% to maybe go and press someone or put a tackle in, and it lifts the crowd and like it gets a bit intense there. But without that, it's just like maybe it's just a tackle and it doesn't seem much. Like so, I think it adds just that 10% in all aspects. The atmosphere adds 10% to the players, adds 10% to the staff, everything. It all just adds, and obviously the noise levels is much different because sometimes you can't even hear your teammates. But no, I think it's like one of a kind. Like unless you experience it, you can't explain like what the feeling is being out there with like I don't know, like 9,000-10,000 fans. Like it's just unbelievable feeling. Like you just want to be out there every single day of your life. But no, it's brilliant.
How did you find? So we had one game in front of fans, which was Charlton, and they had 2,000 fans. I know, obviously, we come out the wrong side of that in a 5-2 defeat. But was that a lot? Was that different in terms of? I know George, who was there doing the beats back to Power Lane, and he said even 2,000, the sound was like intense. Was that a weird thing to deal with after so long without fans?
I'm not sure if weird still. It kind of just it felt back to normal. Like I almost felt like more comfortable. Like if that's the way, like it just felt back to normal. And like I think when I have fans there, like almost like that makes me want to like thrive under the like pressure, like because it's like I said, it's a different feeling. Like it's a much different feeling like before the game as well. Like when you're in a change room, you can hear like everything outside. When you go out to warm up, you can hear the crowd. Like it's just a whole different ballpark, but it's what I love doing. So yeah.
Ethan, what about yourself? Obviously, Charlton would have been for you. It's obviously a new experience in terms of being an Aldershot, and we've done the non-league circuit, so sort of know what that's like. What was it like at Charlton going there, even though there was 2,000 fans there?
Yeah, I think it did feel like for me especially. I think it felt like a drastic change. I think. Even just as you mentioned, the noise levels, it was so different to obviously what we've played previously this season. And I think, sorry, just to go back on that other point about the more potentially going more tactical, I think without fans, because I don't think you get with fans, there might be like a tackle, like as Rudy said, or like a shot that goes potentially close, and then the fans are on you, and there's kind of it allows you to put pressure on the opponents, I think. So without that, it's kind of, I think you got to almost put your own pressure onto the team. So from that perspective, I think it's a bit more difficult. But yeah, I thought the Charlton game was, for me, it was brilliant. Although obviously we lost, and there were some potential positives to bring out of the game. For example, Pig's strike was unbelievable. I think it won goal of the month, didn't it? So it's so there's some positives to bring out of the game. But yeah, I thought it was brilliant atmosphere.
So we've got quite a few questions coming in, Anne-Marie. Should we go through some questions?
There's some great ones. So obviously we're all watching games on iFollow. I'm sure your family and friends are as well. And we have our Mikey T, who commentates on the games for us. And someone has quoted him here, says, Ethan, when you scored that first goal against Plymouth, Mikey T said something like, I don't know about Chislett, but he can certainly drill it. Have you thought about getting that tattooed? Is that going to be your motto?
No. I must have missed that. I think my dad mentioned something, because obviously he watches all the games. I think he mentioned something about that, but no, I haven't thought about that yet.
Put that on a t-shirt. That's brilliant. So someone has asked, who's the worst nickname of all the players? Do you want to go first, Jack?
Worst nickname. I'm not really sure. Who have we got, Chiz?
Who have you given the worst one to? Have you given a nickname to somebody that they don't like?
So what? So a nickname as in what we call someone, like
Yeah,
pigs
maybe. Yeah.
and chiz and like that.
I wonder, yeah.
I don't really know. There's not really any bad ones. Like
the crow, maybe.
The crow, yeah. The crow. That's a funny one.
Was he forced to do that celebration when he scored a goal at Charles?
Yeah, 100%.
Was he forced to do that? It didn't look natural, did it? It looked like, on that side of it.
Yeah.
Do you ever think up celebrations? I know it's difficult, obviously, with fans, because fans drive you to do some silly things sometimes. But if you think about FIFA, there's always dodgy celebrations on there. Have you thought about anything?
No, 100%. I actually do. Like, I just need to score, and when I score, like, I'm sure you lot will see some funny celebrations or some good celebrations. Trust me. But I've got some in the locker.
We'll wait for that. You've come close. You've come close, haven't you, to the goal?
Keep coming close. Just
not far away now, is it?
Yeah, it will come soon.
Let's have a look.
What current AFC Wimbledon players would you have in a five-a-side team? That could cause some controversy. That would.
Therefore, us two in the team.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Us two.
That's the midfield sorted. Perfect.
Yeah. Pigs finisher maybe.
NG Dubs.
Yeah, 100%. With that team, I'm not even sure we need a keeper.
Well.
Let's get another outfield player. They won't touch the ball. Who else? It's a good outfield. And then, I don't know, Coxie with the zingers.
Who would you not have in your five-a-side team? Who would just not be a five? Who's not a five-a-side player?
Who's not a five-a-side?
It's got to be a defender, surely.
Yeah, I was gonna say Will because he comes around, but Will's he actually scores loads of goals in five-a-side. He actually, every time we do five-a-side, this guy scores bare goals.
Yeah, he's a goal scorer, man.
Yeah. Who's bad?
Not bad, but who would be? None of you are bad footballers.
Yeah.
But who just isn't suited to a five-a-side, quick touch and that sort of side of it?
Who would you say? I'm not sure.
Are you trying to stitch me up here?
I can see you both trying to shot you. There's obviously one player you're thinking about. We'll leave you.
Yeah.
No, generally, I can't actually. Who would be the bad pick? Who don't you want on your team?
I don't know, mate.
He's setting you up, Ethan, isn't
he? Yeah, I know. He's trying to.
No, I don't actually know who he wouldn't want, really. No one's really bad at five-a-side.
That's a good position to be in, then. If you can't think of any.
Actually, I've got one. Right, Ryan Longman.
Right.
He does not win any five-a-sides, so probably him.
Yeah, that's very true.
Does he sulk?
Yeah.
Yeah, any five-a-side, he can never score in five-a-side. He can never win five-a-side. Like.
Oh, super! We got it eventually. Quick question from Dominic Francis. This is quite a good one. Ethan and Jack are yet to really get a chance to meet the fans. In the meantime, have you been practicing your autograph signature?
No, I just have my autograph when I use it for everything. Really.
Yeah, same for me, standard.
Does that feel weird sometimes? Obviously, it's a lot of younger kids and that. We're very good in terms of Wimbledon, the sort of culture is mixing with fans and stuff like that. Is that something you enjoy?
Yeah, always. Yeah, as a player, you like to interact with the fans, talk to them, get their thoughts, just have normal talk with them. Because at the end of the day, like we're not like I think sometimes footballers can be held in a different planet to like normal people. Like we are just normal people. Like we like to have a chat, we like to talk and just find out about your lives as much as you like to find out about ours.
Have you ever had the grilling from either after a match, Jack? Because obviously that's something that Ethan wouldn't have experienced yet.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
No, where's this grilling? On the stage?
Yeah, in front of the fans in the bar after games.
No, the only time I've been on the stage is after my debut off the bench, but I don't think he would have wanted to grill me after that.
It's normally for man the match, isn't it, Anne-Marie?
Yeah, absolutely. And you sometimes I think the players might be a bit gutted they've got man, then they have to go up in front of everyone and get a grilling from Ivor about all sorts. And usually the match day mascot as well, isn't it, Stu?
He's always taller than Ivor.
It's to us, of course. Yeah, we're always taller than Ivor. But yeah, you've got all that to look forward to, Ethan, when you get your man of the match. I'm sure.
I swear one year, Joe Pigott got cornered by Ivor of trying to predict how many goals he would score. And Ivor wouldn't let him off. And then every time he got man of the match, he kept saying, I think Joe was under pressure and said 20 or something. And Ivor held to him. So if Ivor asks you for a target, don't answer him. He will try and pressure you. I think we can go through a quiz now. So what we've got for the quiz, you're as a team now, so you can confer on that. We're going to have a picture quiz, which is going three pictures, 2 points each correct answer, and it'll be a player that's disguised, and then we go on to the question side of it. George, you want to roll the pictures first? If he's still there, George. You falling asleep, George?
Who has to answer first, Stu? Is it
I can't believe George has fallen asleep. Bless him.
We'll take the point though.
Yeah, we'll take it.
We'll go back to the picture quiz. Okay, so let me quickly. Here we go. Cheers, George.
Oh, Longy.
Yeah, the big long one.
We didn't try and make it too hard. Yes, that's correct.
the best five-a-side player at Wimbledon?
I know we're gonna have to get him on soon, just to ask him about that.
No, trust me, get him on. He's a good lad. He's funny.
Yeah,
we will do. Brilliant. Next one, George. George, this is not good technically. Are we going to have to sack you again, George? George.
Sorry, my internet is awful here.
George is down in Plymouth. So
Cornwall.
not Plymouth, but that way, George, isn't it?
Yes. Okay. So did you get the first one?
Yes,
yeah.
George. The second one. If not George, we'll just give him the full points. Let's go through. We go through the questions, George, because obviously you've got a bit of a. I thought they had internet down that sort of part of the world, but obviously they're struggling, George, with that. So home and away. So basically, you've got five questions, and you've got a choice of going either home or away for each two questions. A home question is an easier one and gives you a point. The away one gives you 3 points, but obviously is a lot harder. So we'll give you, because George has marked it up, we'll give you 6 points for the picture quiz. So the target is 15, George, is that right?
What's the questions on? Wimbledon?
On
History
Wimbledon.
or?
On Wimbledon, of course.
Okay, cool.
yeah, on that. So we'll give you that. So, Jack, do you want to go home or away? You're allowed to confer, so home or away?
Let's go away. Go on then.
Okay. How many penalties did Nick Zanev save in the penalty shootout at Barrow?
Does it have to be saved? Not missed.
How many did he save?
Right.
So the first guy went up and did he save that one?
I think it's
He
adult.
saved the first guy, I think.
Were you paying attention, were you?
And then that Quigley or whatever his name is, he chipped over the bar.
Nightmare, didn't he? Did he only save one? I think he only saved one.
I was gonna go for one as well. So
Is that your final answer?
wait,
Well, Rude, if you're happy, I'm happy, mate.
let's go one then. Go on.
Correct. One save, as you said.
Nice, Eve.
Saved the
Nice,
first
Eve.
one.
Love that
Second
side.
one,
Love it,
the
Rude.
second one, the guy tried to
Love
do.
it.
Well, I don't know what he tried to do. I think he's got caught in 2 minds, didn't he?
Yeah, disgusting, yeah.
Ethan, your choice: home or away?
Let's go away again.
Yeah. On the
Okay.
road.
I'll go first one, Stu.
Go for it. Yes.
Right. Who is the oldest player in our squad this season?
Is it Lukey
Oh, it could be. Ours Cal.
or Ollie? Ollie, Luke, Cal. Those are the three oldest. I reckon.
Lukey's 30. Is he
Lukey's 30.
I'm pretty sure Lukey turned 30.
I'll go
Unless
Luke.
it was-
I want to go
Or was it
Luke.
29?
Or is it
How
Ollie
old?
Palmer?
Higher or lower
How
than
old's old?
I love the way you two are conferring. This is great.
It's either Lukey or Ol, mate. I think.
It's not Cal. Is it Cal? It's not Cal. No,
I
it's not
don't
Cal.
think
It's not
so.
Cal.
No. I think Cal's 26 and you're 25, something like that. 26, 27? I don't know. I think we go.
Let's say. I think we go O'Neill.
Yeah, I agree. Luke
Jim?
O'Neill.
Go on. Let's lock it in.
the answers?
Big Luke O'Neill.
I believe that's the correct answer.
It is the correct answer.
Oh,
29.
that's quality, you son.
Hey, well done, you. that connection route.
Yeah.
Marie, do you want to continue with this one, Jack? What do you want to go? Home or away?
We've got to go away again. Have to.
Yeah. Okay. Name one of the top 3 players who have played the most minutes in all competitions this season.
Name one.
Got to be.
One of the
Well,
top 3
Pigs.
players.
Pigs and Woody.
I'd go Connell just to be safe.
Sharp, you. Sharp. Connell.
Do you
No,
want
no, no,
the answers
Wait,
here?
No, we won't go Connell. Mate,
Was it
'cause he
top
didn't
3?
Didn't
Yeah,
start
so name
Northampton,
one of the top 3.
Yeah, I think Pigs or Connell, one of the two.
Yeah, should we go Connell? He's played like every league game.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go for Connell.
All competitions.
Oh, all comps. Still Connell or
I think Terrell's up there, you know.
Terrell? He had a few games on the sideline, but
I think we go Pigs.
no, I think
Pigs
we
or
go
Connell.
Pigs as
Yeah,
well.
one of
Let's
the two.
go Pigs.
I think they're both in there.
Yeah. Yeah, correct.
Who were the
Actually,
3?
So Terrell Thomas was the most games,
Oh, wow.
most minutes. Then Connell, and then Pigs.
Oh, nice.
So you picked all 3 of them. Terrell will come a bit later on there, but yeah. Okay. Marie, do you want to go with the next one?
Are we going away again?
I think we're already on 15, aren't we?
George, what's the score? George is our scorekeeper. Our score.
Was it 3 points for away?
3 points for away. So,
So what's that? That's 9 points plus 6.
so you're 15 at the moment. So
Got the hat trick in the
cool.
feature quiz with the
So you've got 2 more. You got 2 more questions. So you can either go and make a. So the choice is you either go and make a killer score for Ollie and Joe Pigott to say, or you go say.
We can't go safe for the viewers. Come on, away.
Never deny.
Go away then. Let's do it. So, how many goals has Joe Pigott scored in December in all competitions?
In December. So what was December? Oxford, he didn't play. Lincoln on. Wait, that's not even December. Ignore me. He scored in the Arsenal game.
Did he score against Bristol? Was that December?
Yeah, he scored a penalty.
Yeah, so was that December? I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah. Who else scored in the Bristol? He didn't get 2. Oh no, that was Ben.
Yeah.
Who else did we play in December?
What have you said? Charlton? No, did you say Charlton?
Oh no, I haven't said Charlton. So that's Arsenal, Bristol, Charlton. That's 3.
I think I saw he scored in December. He had a foot injury, didn't he? So
Yeah, should we go 3?
Final answer?
Yeah, we'll go 3.
Stu, the keeper of the answers.
Yeah, correct answer is 6. He scored.
6.
He scored 6. So he scored 5 in a row. So yeah, 6.
Wow.
Quite a lot of games in December. Remember, we went through all those games, didn't we? So you're right. He did score against the Arsenal.
Sunderland.
Oh, I didn't even think.
Yeah, rash. We move.
He scored more goals than what you think. So final one now. So now you're tied. What do you want to do for your final one?
I guess is it at home?
Do you reckon home?
Is it at home?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, we'll take the victory and go home.
Yeah.
Play it
Okay,
safe.
we'll go home.
Marie, do you want to pick the final home question?
Play it safe. Love that. Okay. So, how many away games have we won in the league this season?
Oh, that's a hard question, yeah.
Wow. Gosh.
Swindon. Let's count them. Swindon.
Okay, let's go through. Swindon. Do you want to go in order or just say them?
Let's just say them. Swindon,
Okay, so Swindon,
Fleetwood,
Rochdale.
You have to rush it. About 30 seconds left. You should have got some music for this.
Tough quiz
Who
master.
else is there?
Sorry, was it one?
What?
How many away games have we won in the league this season?
I think it's just 3.
Swindon, Rochdale, Fleetwood. We pick up loads of draws. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And they feel like wins, but we got a draw.
I think there could potentially be one that we just haven't thought about.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to think.
What's your final answer? I'm going to have to rush you. What's your final answer?
3 or 4, Jack. You go for it, mate.
Well, let's go for the ones we know. Go on, we'll go 3.
Correct answer.
Yes.
Love it.
A whole week's worth of boot washing riding on.
Yeah.
That's it.
We'll absolutely
Well,
take that.
That's definitely Anthony Hartigan and Alex Woodyard, who know next week. So, commiseration to them. Okay, so we're just waiting for Ollie and Joe Pigott. We've got about 8 minutes left. Let's go through any more questions. This one's been here for a little while, actually. Lauren Gilbert, I think it is. How is the morale in the team with having to cope with COVID? Obviously, we've had a lot of stop-start. How's the morale in there? What's it? I know we're sort of saying, like, we might play in Bristol Rovers on Tuesday, but you might find out late. What was that like for a team?
Go on, you want to go?
Well, I think obviously it's a unique situation. I think you've always got to be ready for the next game, whether that be obviously it is gutting. Like, it's a bit gutting when you kind of find yourself mentally preparing for the game and then find out late that it's been called off. But it's just, I guess, the nature of the beast at the moment, kind of thing. You've got to take it as it is, and obviously we're all struggling in this situation at the moment. So the games will come. It's just a matter of time, and I think we just got to be prepared physically and mentally for those.
Jack, how you finding it?
Yeah, same as Ethan. Really, look, like what Ethan said. Always got to be ready for the games, and they will come. You have to stay focused. Like, it's happening to everyone across the country right now, all leagues. So no one really knows what's going to happen. You just have to stay focused, stay ready. If there's no match, we train. If you can't go to train, you train on your own. Like, you just have to adapt. That's it.
So we know that the English Football League are bringing in testing twice a week. Is that twice a week or once a week? I'm not too sure.
Twice a week.
I have to say, I've stayed away from a test because I do not like the look of these tests. Do you have the proper swabs, or there's different types of tests, isn't there? What sort of tests are you having?
We do swabs.
It's a swab, isn't it? Yeah.
So it's up the nose and back of the throat.
Yeah.
I bet you loved that when they said they would bring that in every week, didn't they?
Yeah, they're not very nice, those.
Yeah.
Who's the biggest wimp with it?
To be fair, we don't really get to see anyone do it because you just turn up in your cars and then you just like go around and do it. So you don't really see anyone do the actual test.
Superb. Let's see what Joe's just joined us now. Hi, Joe. How are you?
Hi, guys. How's it going?
Not bad. So we're just wrapping up with Ethan and Jack on this one. Any more questions?
I was just going to say, so obviously we asked Ethan what his terrace chant was at Aldershot, and somebody said if there's no fans to create chants for players, what chant would you give yourself? Jack, have you got what song would you like?
Chant for myself. I don't know. The only one I've heard that has been done is just Rudy. Well, that's like that's a simple one. I'm not really sure.
That'll be our task then, to come up with something while we're in lockdown.
Who do you think's got the worst song? I can think of some dodgy. Obviously, Joe's got the typical feed the pig and he'll score. In terms of Jack, probably what unfair on Ethan, but Jack, who's got the worst song? I can think of one straight off the top of my head, but who's got the worst song?
I don't really know. What's Paul Ossu's on? Running Down the Wing.
That's a good. Has he got one?
Yeah,
Marie?
Paul Osso's got one.
Oh, sorry, George. You still wait. That's good, George. Thank you. What is it? What is it, George?
Give us a
He's not
song,
got-
George.
Go on. He's fallen asleep again.
I can't believe it. I have to say, the worst. I did find it funny to start off with, but Paul Cannonbaye's one,
Backstreet Boys.
the Backstreet Boys.
I thought that one was quite good. I can't lie.
Did Paul K not get any grief for that?
No, I think it's known as decent little tune, no?
Superb. Joe, are you happy with your chant?
Yeah, nice. All right, I guess it's pretty standard when you got an animal in your name. So yeah.
I suppose what we could do in this sort of lockdown, we could give the fans a challenge to think of another song to have for you. Have you thought about? Is there any? I'm guessing obviously the big sort of has gone round on your career. Any sort of song that you would rather? Any sort of chant that you would like to have for you?
No, I'm happy with the one I've got. It's pretty unique, I guess. So yeah, I haven't got a problem with it at all. Obviously, it's always nice to have your song being sung by the fans, and yeah, it's just simple, innit? After the mighty Sean Goater, we replaced,
definitely.
Replaced the goat with the pig.
And we've got the crow as well that we all talked about.
We have. Yeah, that's our favourite ones. That's our favourite ones to sing around the training ground. There's always bird noises being.
So you did stitch him up then. He had to do that celebration when he scored against Charlton.
Yeah. I mean, obviously you get a few parakeets around southwest London, and then throughout training there's just crows everywhere.
Superb. Well, look, brilliant. Thank you, Jack. Ethan, thank you very much for joining us on that.
No worries, cheers.
You are.
Actually, Dingo's there, is he? I can't see him. Where is
Hey,
he?
Right, bro. How you doing,
There
mate?
he is. All right, mate. How's it going?
Yeah, man.
How's the dog pic?
Oh yeah, she's all right. She's a bit bloody annoying, but she's fine. Yeah, I'll go and get her in a minute.
So Jack and Ethan leave us as the quiz. They are the leaders at the moment on 16 points, which is for Joe and Ollie to beat. So at the moment, it's Anthony Hartigan and Alex Woodyard are cleaning boots for next week. So yeah, but it's their forfeit. It's their forfeit to implement. So yeah. I'm not too sure what Joe and Ollie have got up their sleeve if they.
Yeah, well, we got some pairs of size 13s that need cleaning anyway. So
superb. Like I say, Jack, Ethan, thank you very much for joining us. Good luck for the rest
All
of
right,
the
nice
season.
guys.
For having us.
Stay safe.
Cheers.
Take care.
good morning, boys.
Laters.
See you.
Nick, I will leave it over to you. Anne-Marie, you happy to stay on?
Yeah, absolutely.
Superb.
Thanks, Stu. Stu, have we got quiz questions for Joe and Ollie?
That's why I'm dropping out to do the questions. I'll get the answers this time as well.
That'd be helpful. Thank you.
No problem.
Cheers, Stu. Speak to you in a bit. That was a great chat with Jack and Ethan. Anne-Marie, I had to duck out for a little bit. Did anyone ask Jack about his taste in music? Because the last time he appeared on...
He's just confessed to being a Backstreet Boys fan, and I'm pretty sure that they would have been around before he was born.
His taste in music's awful. It is shocking.
This is it, Joe. I was trying to remember because he came on the podcast back in March.
Fact, his taste in general is the worst at the club. Whether it's music or clothes, it's awful.
Hair? What about his hair? I mean, I'm one to talk, but
yeah. I mean, obviously, he did turn up to one game this season with it in a plait, which almost caused an absolute scene. But yeah, no, he's a great lad, though.
Yeah, no, absolutely. As are you and Ollie, and I thank you very much for joining us. And I know Ollie, well, he's just coming back. Thank you for taking the time on your Friday night to join us, both of you.
No problems at all.
You mentioned there, Joe, about training in the morning. What time are you in tomorrow morning?
Well, technically, it's not actually morning. We're training at midday because of the frost, I imagine. So
Of course, yeah, only resort.
Yeah, because we turned up the other morning and it was still rock hard. So yeah, hopefully by then it'll be all thawed out.
Cool. And Ollie, is that training then? Is that just how's it working with this week? Because we haven't had a game. We haven't got a game this weekend, but we've got a game Tuesday night in the whatever you want to call that trophy, and then we've got Sunderland next week. So how's the week shaping up? Are we in every day? Are we not? Are we just Tuesday taking off? How's it work?
I think we've been in most days. It's been different for a lot of people. There's some lads that are injured. There's some lads that need more training time. There's some lads that have played every game this season that have had a day or two off. So it's been a little bit different for the squad. But we'll all be back in tomorrow preparing for a big game on Tuesday night.
Where are we now? Is it quarter final? I don't know. Is it quarterfinals?
It's the last 16.
Last 16.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. It's a long journey. You travelling there and back in the day, Bristol?
Yeah, I imagine so. Yeah.
Yeah, coach down
the
there.
joke of the competition, you just called the Papa John's. You don't get any pizza for a win at all. It's the biggest non-event in the history of football.
What's happening with post-match meals then? Because there was a time we had a phase of a few years back. It was all pizza. Pizzas were all the rage immediately on full time.
Yeah, to be honest, Nick, as a player, throughout my whole career, after every away game, there's always been Domino's pizza on the coach afterwards.
Okay.
And honestly, after about 4 games, away games in the season, he's had enough. But luckily, Chris has sorted us out with some good meals that are cooked in the microwave on the coach after the game. They're actually really good and really healthy. My personal favourite is peanut chicken, and I have that every day.
That's everyone's favourite, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the best one out of the selection of about 30. So, yeah, all the boys are just running on peanut chickens daily. So, yeah, it's good.
Bit better than the chicken dippers from Domino's, I guess.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Blooming awful.
You mentioned Chris there. We are blessed with some fantastic staff around the football club, and I noticed that one of them, Robin Bedford, is watching now. Now, where does Rocket stand in the pantheon of great kitmen that you've worked with in your career?
Bottom of the pile. No pun intended. Right down there. Have that, Rocket.
Oh my God, he looks after me so well. It's a joke, honestly. Looks after me so well.
He's a great kit man. He does what he can for everyone.
No, I don't even see him as a kit man. I just see him as my mate. So
he needs to have one friend.
Every time I ask him for something, I feel bad.
He still cycled to training?
Yeah, he does. He dropped off a shirt for me the other day as well. Some guy called Dom tweeted me on Christmas Day asking for a shirt, and Robin dropped it off for me the other day. So yeah, he'd do absolutely anything for the boys.
Yeah, this was on Twitter. What was it? 100? Was it 100 likes or 100 retweets?
Something like that. Yeah, I didn't know quite what to say, to be honest, because obviously I wanted him to get one, but yeah, obviously it was nice to give something away. It's a bit random, so I thought we'll also get him one.
It's a nice gesture, especially Christmas time, especially after the year we've all had.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I mentioned the year we've all had. Ollie, how's it? How has it been? How's morale been over the past couple of weeks? We've had our issues. We've had our COVID problems again.
Yeah, but hard. There's games getting called off every single week. I feel like as a club we've been a little bit feel guilty for kind of catching it and let it break out into the camp, but it's happening globally. It's not something that we can just avoid. So no matter how many precautions you take, it's probably inevitable that it's going to happen. It's happened. There's still 1 or 2 lads that haven't caught it who can still be liable to catching it. So
yeah, I'm one of them as well.
Yeah. So there's you take the precaution measures that you need to be taking, but it's what it is at the end of the day. And it's happening to all the clubs across the country. So we're just trying to get on with the job in hand and deal with the situation. So obviously we'd rather have a full squad to pick from, fit and healthy, rather not go 2 weeks without training into a game. But that seemed to work quite well at Rochdale way. So
yeah, nightmare, innit? I mean, to be honest, it's been absolute carnage. You just come in some days and you just,
someone's got a cough.
Yeah.
Hurry in. You just don't really.
It's just.
Yeah, it's such a difficult situation, I think, for everyone, and no one's quite sure how best to go about it. I think, as you say, Ollie, you do all the precautions you can, but at the end of the day, as you say, it's pandemic. It's going to spread whatever you do.
Of course.
Unfortunately,
when the lockdown's up, where's the first place? When everything's reopened, where's the first place you guys going to go?
Say that, I'll probably just be at home on the PS4 still. Take some content.
Yeah, I don't know. Got no idea. Yeah, probably Superstore in Verdansk. No, I don't know. Honestly, just be nice to go out for a bit of food somewhere and relax. But no idea. Seems like it's going to be a long way away anyway.
Yeah, I don't think I wouldn't get excited about going anywhere for dinner too soon.
Did you get a chance to get away in the summer at all? I was speaking the other day. And my job and the sort of people that were trying to get away and get a break at all. Did you manage to get away?
My dog's just come in, by the way. Sorry.
Oh.
No, not at all. We will definitely be talking in a second.
No, I didn't. I'll get away. What about anyone else?
Oh, I'll shut up here.
Sorry, Ollie. I'll come back to you and we'll go back to the dog. So yeah, sorry. You didn't get a chance to get away in the summer?
Just a little. Well, I got away in England for a few days, down to the New Forest, which is nice. But I mean, I haven't really had an opportunity to get abroad. But it's what it is. Same for many people, so I can't really complain about that.
Yeah, Joe, yourself, did you get away in the summer or no?
No, not really.
No.
I just took up cycling after my after my kitman mate Rocket got me in cycling. Helped me pick out a bike to buy, and I just got really into the cycling really, and didn't really go anywhere, to be honest.
Yeah, everyone did. Everyone picked up a new little hobby or a sport.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Read a few books, and then lockdown 7, whatever one we're in now, it just all goes out the window. Just sat watching TV, but at least there's football to watch in this one, isn't there? So
that was about your summer break. Somebody asked a question on the chat. Did you manage to have a Christmas lunch during the training ground? Or did you do anything?
Oh no, we didn't. We just had our peanut curry chickens. That's all we had at the training ground. But yeah, no, that is a nice that's a nice time of the year when you get to have a meal with all the lads. But unfortunately, obviously, we couldn't have that.
What are the questions?
I was just wondering. I've got to ask about the dog. Sorry, I think I also had a bit of a dodgy internet whilst we had. So the dog is how old does he say it is?
It's like 8 weeks old.
Oh.
And what's the name?
My girlfriend named it, but she's called Gigi.
Gigi.
Girl, so yeah. Don't ask why.
No.
I don't really want to be shouting that around when we take it for a walk, but it is what it is.
Tell you what, though, it must be nice to have an excuse to get out and about during lockdown with the dog, take it for a walk, get it all.
Yeah, sure.
Get some fresh air.
Who's going to do the puppy training?
We're both trying a little bit at the moment, but it's just like a constant cycle of going crazy for half an hour and then half an hour of sleep. Like that.
It's like having a kid, yeah. Yes, sorry, we do have questions. I'm going to scroll through them. Do you know what, Amory? I was wondering though. You were talking about 5-a-side teams with Jack and Ethan. I was wondering, Ollie and Joe, would they have a?
Yeah,
so ask those same questions.
The question to Ethan and Jack about which Wimbledon players they'd have if they were going to make their ultimate 5-a-side team. And it got some interesting answers came out from the other guys.
Yeah, we talking just this squad or?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, from the current squad, who would you have in your sort of ultimate 5-a-side?
Did each of them pick themselves? I bet they did, didn't they? Because
they did. Yeah, they make up the midfield.
Just tell that straight away. Yeah. To be fair, they'd probably be in mine, to be honest.
Both of them.
Pains me to say what Chisinho and
Yeah, I wouldn't have Chisinho and Rudy. If you're thinking of a 5-0's team in training, I think you just got to go one or the other.
I don't know. I was going to say, who do you have in goal? We're a keeper down now as well.
Zach.
Yeah.
So they chose not to have a keeper, I think, in the end.
No keeper? What,
They
rush
said-
keeper?
They said with them in midfield, they'd be able to keep the ball well enough they wouldn't need a keeper.
They're
Wow,
Wally's,
nonsense.
Man. What Wally's?
I bet Rudy said that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Rudy definitely said that.
In goal, I'll go Tans.
Yeah.
At the back, I'll have TT. And in midfield, I'd have Woody. And I'd have Woody and Yakko. And then I'd have
how many you had? Wait,
3. No, how many have I had?
You had
Woody.
4.
Oh,
You had 4. You got 1 left.
well, no, it's 2 different. Now Woody and Cal on the other side, then, and Pigs up top. Good boy.
Yeah, Tans actually. Oh, I was going to say Coxie. Do you know, I'll go Coxie in goal. Not against Tans, he's a brilliant keeper, but I'll just Coxie's got a bit of swagger, so I like that in my 5-a-side team. And then
He can't have the same 5 as me, can he?
yeah, I won't. Who would I have at the back? Well, I could have Will, just because you're scared that he's going to injure you in training. PK, he bombs forward sometimes in 5-a-side. I know, but PK does bomb forward in a 5-a-side.
Gone from flary goalkeeper to a team of centre halves.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm going to go Pete. I'm going to go TC as well. Joe, I'm going to go PK because I've seen him play front in a 5-a-side sometimes, and then he slots back in at the back after your team go ahead. So I'll go with him, and then Yakko in midfield with they're like the defensive players, and then the 3 more up top would be me, Ollie, and Longy just go out all out attack. To like one defender, 1 deep line midfielder, and then just 3 like an arrowhead almost. Great.
I was going to say, do you want to have a guess at who they said they wouldn't have in their 5-a-side? There was one player they said they definitely wouldn't.
Oh God, was it me?
You were in. You made the cut. You'll be pleased.
What they've outed someone that they wouldn't have in the team.
They did.
Well, we did ask them, Ollie. We did sort of put them under pressure, but there was one player that they both. Well, I think Ethan knew who he wanted to say, but Rudy was trying to set him up.
I just don't know who would you not win in your 5-0's team?
So they said that if you're playing 5-a-side in training, whenever this player's in the team, you never win. In the little sentence.
I know it's not me or Pigs.
Oh no, it could be me because my team always loses.
No, I'm always winning. 5-0's team's been a joke recently.
Oh, is it Woodyard? Woodyard, his team always loses.
Nah,
as well.
not really. Well, unless I'm missing something here.
Who would be your choice? Who would you least want to have in your side because of 5-a-side? Not because of their football ability, but 5-a-side can be different to 11-a-side game, can't it?
Yeah, let's get that straight. 5-a-side is not real life. It's not real football.
I'm not even sure.
Should we give you who? Should we give you who?
Yeah, give us a clue. Give us a clue. Give me a clue. How tall are they? That's the.
Well, put it this way. I think you both have a difference of opinion because he's in your squad.
In Pigs is on mine.
Really?
They said PK.
No.
Who else was in your team? Ryan, me?
No, Ryan Longman.
Really?
Apparently, he always loses on 5-a-sides.
Yes, he doesn't pass it. That's why.
They're just picking on. They're just picking on one of the low knee youngins. Not having that.
He turned into a speedboat on the Thames with no driver in 5-a-side. Can't see anything except from the goal.
Ollie, what are you like at 5-a-side? Are you a
Been
target?
unbelievable recently. Some people have been comparing me to Lionel Messi. I didn't score the goal of the decade though the other day in 5-0s. I think Tans from about 25 yards after taking 3 people on with my back to goal. Oh, it's unbelievable. Yeah.
A great effort. That's a great effort to dink the Pepper Army, man, I tell you.
Yeah, the longest man in football.
You got to leave his goal.
Did you have a pre-planned celebration?
Oh, Mark Robinson.
Robbo,
to be fair, Ollie did. What's big Kevin Phillips doing on there? Get Kevin Phillips on the show. Big Mark Robinson. him and Ollie play together in training. It's like Niall Quinn and Kevin Phillips, like the Sunderland gang back together.
Is Robert a ringer for Kevin Phillips? Is that what?
Yeah. Do you know what? We did shape the other day, and Robert had to play up front against the defence. And the ball went up to him, and he did this flick on header. I just couldn't stop laughing. Honestly, it was so funny.
And that was a classic strike combination. The old Quinn and Phillips back at
it was
the century. I was going to say we have. I was thinking of Sutton and Shearer earlier. Obviously, the SAS as it was back in the day. Has Pigott and Palmer, has P&P taken off yet? Is that a thing in the training ground?
We've only played together. We've only started one game. Give us a chance.
Well, you got to get in early with these things.
Yeah, I know. It's been frustrating for me, really, hasn't it? But it's just one of those things.
P&P. Posted
and package. There you go. It doesn't. We'll make it work somehow. It might not sound the great best.
P&P. Yeah, you'd have to colour that up a little bit, make it sound. Get it in a song. Want to hear that?
We'll try and figure something out. I'm sure someone out there, maybe I was going to say in the Tempest end, blimey. What is it even, Anne-Marie? What's it called? What is our new home end?
It doesn't have a sponsor yet.
Thank you, George.
What is it? George, that was sharp. Simon James said South Stand.
The
South Stand.
P&P
stand, thank you. There you go. Done. P&P stand from now on. We're going to make it happen. You'll be in Don's legend if that was to happen. Call the end after you two. Whose goal was better then? Was Joe's goal against Charlton better, or was it your goal in 5-a-side the other day?
Oh no, my goal on 5-a-side.
Yeah,
hands down. Oh yeah.
Increase dues.
But let me tell you, Joe's goal against Charlton.
Fave England women's footballer. It's a bit random.
Joe's goal against Charlton was unbelievable, wasn't it?
It was an unbelievable goal.
I was actually expecting him to run over and celebrate with me, if I'm being completely honest, and then he just stopped. So I was a bit annoyed about that. He doesn't know that.
We might as well forget about that goal after the second half.
We won't mention the second half, but at the time, I'm guessing it was a nice feeling to score against an old club.
Yeah, no, it was nice. All my mates are fans as well, so none of them were at the game, but it was really nice to score.
And is that a Charlton shirt behind you? I was trying to figure out.
Yeah, first ever shirt.
Okay.
I framed up, got a few bits of memorabilia in here. Got my Wimbledon Players Player of the Year in from Great Escapes on the wall.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, and a few other bits.
What's your most treasured bit of memorabilia you've got? Is it the most...
You know what? I've got some nice bits. I've got a playoff medal and my boots that I scored in at Wembley, but probably my player's player from the Great Escape season, just because I think that's such a nice award to win, being recognised by your peers. Is that's a really nice award.
What about you, Ollie? Have you got any memorabilia? Sort of like you've got your own little trophy cabinet of home, or?
Yeah, I've got a few nice bits where won the checker trade with Lincoln. That was a nice day out. Few shirts. I've kept. It's not really memorabilia, but I've kept my Grimsby shirt from a playoff final that I lost. That I haven't framed or anything because it's not really. But again, it's just a memory, I suppose. So a few nice moments. But I actually haven't framed any of my shirts. I've got a lot upstairs from each of my clubs. Like I keep one from each club. I probably will do something with them all. I've had so many clubs. I don't think I've got enough walls in my house to frame all my shirts. So I'll probably get some of them framed. Soon.
Just want to come with a few questions. So we did ask. We asked some of the players to provide questions for you. Yeah, we thought it'd be nice. So Ollie, your one is: have you ever been locked in a room at an away game and nearly missed dinner?
No, there are. Who else is that?
Sent that in. O'Neill. Luke O'Neill sent that in, didn't he?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what happened was I've with Woody's help, and Steve said maybe Cam throwing a few people under the bus. I'll stop. We got a few irons, and we used the wire of the irons to tie the door handles opposite each other. So we knew we'd done Chiz's room, Chiz and Longy, but we also didn't realise who else was in there. Someone else was in there, Chiz, Longy, and maybe Dan. And we'd lock the doors together. We'd tie the doors handle to handle, and we were just standing there for ages, watching them, like trying to yank the door open. And you could see, and you knew Ryan was trying because he's a strong lad, and you could see he thought he was strong enough to rip the doors open, but he couldn't. And then we just left them, like Pigs was in the hallway with us, Woody, Cal, Shane, and we've all just walked down to dinner and left him in his room. Yeah, I've got a little photo here.
Yeah, honey.
How long was he in there for?
Pardon?
How long was he in
there for too long?
Well, I was happy to leave him in there, but a staff member wouldn't let them out.
Okay, and for Joe Pigott, what would be the players' favourite on away trips? Bagel, croissants, or crumpets?
Definitely crumpets. God, the boys and the coaching staff just absolutely love an English crumpet. I mean, all the foreign lads like Yako, Dan, and all that, they see these crumpets and they just don't know what to think. They're flying all over the place, I tell you. We get to pre-match and there's 30 crumpets laid out next to the toaster.
Do you know what though? I haven't had a crumpet in so long, and now I'm. Yeah.
Nick, seriously, mate, they're underrated. Crumpet.
They are.
It's butter, isn't it? The butter seeps through it, doesn't it?
Yeah, you've got to get to the right temperature so the butter seeps through and it like leaves a little.
Don't over toast it either.
Leaves a little bit of butter on the plate, and then you just give it a little rub in the butter, and then you have a nice nibble. Oh, it's delicious, mate.
And they fly really well as well.
They're
resilient.
They've been known to be thrown as well.
I can imagine. Are we toasting or are we grilling? What are we doing?
Yeah, toasting. Do you know what? Even a few crumpets made their way onto a pitch after a game once.
Yeah?
Yeah. And the pitch might have been up in Bedfordshire as well.
Oh, yeah. I think I might get where you're going with that one. Yeah.
Yeah. No, Nick, it actually did happen, mate.
But what when you say it happened, how are we talking? Are we talking they were thrown on like Ollie saying, or did someone? Because in my head, I'm picturing some guy coming out with like a silver tray.
They were thrown on the pitch after the game.
By whom?
And left by players.
Okay, nice.
And were just left randomly on the pitch. So it's one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen. Walking back to the coach and seeing crumpets spread across the pitch.
We'll have to sell them on the ground in the
yeah, we will.
Well, we're not going to have kebab fans this time. We're going to have our own.
Yeah, never mind the Plough Lane Brewery. We want the Plough.
What do Chelsea fans chuck around? Parsley or something?
No, celery.
Celery. I want to see crumpets getting thrown round.
Yeah.
Plough Lane. I've never seen anything like it in my life. I want to see crumpets
off the top tier. All the boxes are. I just want to see either just frisbeeing crumpets onto the pitch.
So recently we did have a survey to fans about what cuisine they wanted at games. What were the choices again, Nick? Was it fish and chips?
Oh, all the usuals basically. Yeah, fish and chips,
What
burgers,
would
hot dogs,
be
all
your,
that
if you were a
business.
fan at a game, what would be your ideal half-time cuisine? Obviously not crumpets or anything like that.
Do you know what? I think the fish and chips is lovely when it's done well.
Mushy
It is
peas.
lovely. Yeah, it is nice.
Yeah, I'd go fish and chips as well when it's done properly as well.
Yeah. What were the other options though?
Chinese, pizza,
Pancakes.
Not
pancakes.
pizza,
Yeah,
Pancakes.
in a football stadium.
yeah, apparently so. That was one of the options, but
Well, what's going to be at Plough Lane? Do you know?
not yet.
We don't know what one, do we yet? It hasn't been announced yet.
We've got to
Public
compete with
campaign.
McDonald's now.
Well, there's a McDonald's now, isn't there, as well? So,
Yeah, so we've got to
how are you
offer.
finding the journey into Plough Lane, Ollie? I know we spoke before, didn't we? Where's your
Well,
parking space?
I tell you what, I think it's calmed down now. But at one period, I left for a game. I wanted to get in early because I wanted to get some treatment.
Yeah, they were doing roadworks outside Aldi, weren't they? Do you remember?
Right, yeah.
I think we had to be at the stadium at like 5, and I aimed to get out at 4, so I left at 3. I didn't get in till about 5:30 or something. I was just sat on the same road round the corner from Lidl for an hour. I nearly just parked my car and walked, but there's nowhere to park it. But traffic's mental around there. One of my best mates lives on a block of flats on that corner as well. I don't know how he does it, but I think that was just roadworks, to be fair. But so now they'll hopefully be gone soon if they ain't gone already. I don't know, but I know the roads are quiet because of the whole COVID lockdown again. But I think it's just standard London traffic, though, isn't it? Any other day, you just got to leave with ample time.
Last time we chatted, Ollie, we were talking about that big wall behind the goal, weren't we? On that side of it. Joe Palmer's now said that we're going to have the biggest scoreboard, or we're going to have a projection on there.
Oh, is that what he's going to do? Yeah. I thought someone would roll like a nice bit of cloth all the way down with an AFC badge on.
We're not too sure if it's just a scoreboard or whether it's actually going to be like a jumbotron on there for you. But that's what the wall is going to be. So
do well to project something up there in daylight. I can imagine in the night games it look good. The night game. But
you know, at the new Spurs stadium, they've got like that walk on top of the stadium. Why don't we just turn that into a massive abseiling wall, and we could have the chance to abseil down Plough Lane.
Or the players come out for the game that way.
Yeah. Abseil
Yeah,
down
no coming through the tunnel.
You got to climb back up.
Don't think we get the insurance somehow.
Yeah, you've got to do something with the walls, haven't you? Make good use out of them.
Definitely.
As long as the club are allowed, I don't see why not, though.
I won't reference what my suggestion was, Stu, because we had to edit that out of the podcast, if you remember. And we won't repeat that conversation.
Really?
Well, yeah, we won't go down that road. We do have some questions. Anne-Marie, I had loads of questions, but then I had to drop out because my Virgin Media, I'm not even going to apologise for calling them out, Virgin Media suck. And I've lost them all. So do you still have them?
What questions that come in from fans? So somebody actually asked about haircuts. So obviously with lockdown, a lot of people have been doing their own hair or getting other people to do it. Have any of you guys been doing haircuts on each other within the squad, or you managed to?
No, but worst haircut award goes to Rudy. Since I signed, this is trim after trim's terrible. Got the worst barber in the world. Like lads are actually taking him to like their barber, trying to help him out, and I don't know what. Got such a bad trim. I was trying to grow my hair at one point, but I just cut it off in the end. Too much aggro.
It's just effort when it gets so long, and that's the problem I've got now with lockdown.
Yeah, it is.
Somebody asked Pigs what his favourite goal he's ever scored.
Favourite goal I've ever scored? I've got a few. Obviously, I scored one at Wembley, which was amazing in like the last second of extra time.
Who's that for?
For Southend. But don't know, probably my favourite would be my first ever one for Wimbledon, because it was with pretty much my first touch, and it was within sort of 3 minutes, and yeah, that just felt so good. Honestly, that was an amazing feeling.
Was that Bristol Rovers? If I remember that right?
No, I was against Blackpool.
Right, that's it. Sorry, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, because obviously when you sign for a new club, you just want to settle in straight away, and you want sort of like the respect of all the lads, and yeah, you just want that, you know, that good feeling, and yeah, that was huge for me.
Yeah, you have to forgive me because I'm getting old. My memory's going a bit. That was one we sort of on the turn, was it? Yeah, the one that you had sort of on the turn, both at the Tempest end, sort of on the turn, volleyed it in,
Yeah,
and then there was the one with the header.
Volley,
and then the header was like the injury time winner, wasn't it?
Yeah, against Bristol Rovers.
That's the one, right? Yeah.
What about you, Ollie? What's your all-time favourite goal that you've scored?
I mean, the best feeling I've had, the most electric feeling, was it wasn't from open play, is scoring the winning penalty in the Carabao Cup against Stoke City last season. That was unbelievable. We'd just beat Norwich in the round previous to that. And then we also drew Stoke, and then, yeah, to get through to extra time and penalties, whatever. I don't know if we even had extra time in the Carabao Cup. I can't remember, but to get through the 90 minutes at least, and then score the winning penalty was unbelievable. Probably that moment there's probably my favourite moment in my career, really. I think that sent us through to the last 16 or quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup, maybe it was last 16. Because I remember we then, I think there was Colchester was the only team that were left, and then all the other teams were just Man United, Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea, all the big clubs, and, you know, just sod's law, we drew Colchester, and there was a handful of teams, and I don't know how they got that far as well, but they'd knocked out a few big teams like Spurs along the way, and then we drew them, and the winners of that got Man United away. So unfortunately, they beat us as well. So they went to Old Trafford in the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. But
cool. Amory, any other last ones from viewers before I get into the quiz?
Where can I get the peanut chicken recipe?
Well, I'm not even sure, but they've actually changed the recipe recently. They've made it the sauce a bit thicker and a bit spicier.
Spicy, isn't there? A little kick to it.
Yeah, it's a bit more zing, but I
actually prefer it a little bit.
Yeah, probably off the top of my head, I'm guessing it's natural. It's like it's almost a satay sauce almost, but with like extra chili and what veg has it got in there?
Peppers. It's got some peppers in there.
Oh yeah, peppers and a little bit of spinach
and rice. Whack it all together.
Yeah.
Who do you reckon's the best chef in the squad then? It sounds like.
Oh, to be honest, most of the lads are so young, I doubt they can do scrambled egg on toast. Best chef.
Can't be scrambled egg on toast.
He's got a bit. Ollie, Woody. Actually, I'll say Luke O'Neill. He's the best chef because the bloke just loves.
Yeah, seen the derby on him. Yeah, that's probably why it makes sense.
Yeah,
really. I'm only winding him up.
And talks about the recipe that he cooked the night before.
Nick, got one question very quickly. I just forgot to ask. This is for you, Ollie. This is from Mark Jones, who asked me to ask this. Mark Jones says, "Can you play in goal?"
No. Why?
No. Have you ever played in goal? Have you ever played in goal?
Played in goal.
You like to do that in training or anything like that?
I've not done a stint in goal yet. Would he prefer me to be in goal than up top? Would he?
No, I don't think he's asking that.
Yeah, no, I haven't actually. I would do it. If the gaffer, if we went down to 10 men and someone needed to do it. Growing up, every year had a goalkeeper's jersey. Never played in goal. I just enjoyed it, but no, I've never actually done it as part of a job.
Who fancies themselves in training as a goalkeeper? Is anyone that fancies themselves chucking them in?
Yeah, Shane McLaughlin gets in goal after training some days.
Then he just stands in there, wants to save a few shots. the smallest lad in the world wants to get him goal. That makes sense, does it?
Yeah, he's about as fragile as one of those mannequins of all the fans at Power Lane. When the ball it just leaves a massive dent.
Have you taken out any fans yet? Have you, any of your shots destroyed?
I'll tell you something funny. When we played Barrow away in the FA Cup, in the warm-up, I took out one of the lights.
Oh, nice.
Right? It was one of the lights you'd have in the school hall, like the really long, long ones. And honestly, I hit it absolute flush, and it came down. The wire whipped and then dropped. Honestly, it was mental. It's lucky there was fans there. God.
I have seen fans get hit behind goals. I've never actually hit someone. Not. I mean, I've hit people. Not too bad, maybe on the arm, but I have seen it when people get hit flush. Maybe they're wearing glasses, smashed off, broke nose, blood, and it's just like, for me, why? If you're going to sit behind a goal during a warm up and balls are flying, why are you going to? Don't look down at your phone or don't look down and eat your sandwich I remember my grandparents came to a game, actually at Wimbledon, at your old stadium. And all my family sat behind the goal warming up. And I went over to them and was like, you're going to move. Because my nan's not going to be able to react to a ball. So it's not nice seeing it, to be honest. But it does happen. But it does baffle me when you see fans aren't watching what's going on in the warm-up. If you're going to sit right by the goal, either side of the post.
We'll have to be careful when all the fans are back at Plough Lane, otherwise there'll be battered cods just flying everywhere in the
air. And crumpets.
Yeah, you know what? Crumpets, yeah. Nick and I have said this before. If you're going to stand behind the goal, at least look where the ball is. That's
you've got to. In the warm-up, you've got to.
You know what? Behind the goal is probably one of the worst places to watch a game anyway, for me.
Yeah, for your perspective, for watching it, for viewing a game,
Do you remember the game? So at Kings Meadow, the terrace was sort of like dropped down. So and one time, I still can't stop laughing now. Someone hit a shot and it zipped off the grass and hit a bloke straight on top of the head who was walking behind the goal. Yeah. Took him straight out. I have no sympathy for people that don't look.
Do you know what? I'm going to sound really horrible now because I'm going to try not to laugh at this, but the one I always remember is Bradford years ago. They got a penalty like in stoppage time. So all the fans at Bradford in that big stand behind the goal, they all came right down to the front to see the penalty. And he hit him, he misses, he hammers it wide. Person stood in the front row takes it right square in the face, and you just see them collapse. It's like the Simpsons episode where the guy gets the ball in the groin. I shouldn't have laughed as much as I did, but
you're watching that in the middle of a game.
Yeah, you've got to be keeping an eye out for it, surely. But hey, quiz, Stu, you've sent me the questions.
Yes.
Is it 3 home or away? But I'll get onto the pictures first. If George is there, George, you actually there?
Yeah, I'm here now.
Can we put? So we're going to do the quiz. As you know, forfeit for the team that comes. Oh no, the two of you. So the winners get to set the forfeit for the other two pairs. Alex and Anthony got 15 points. George, Ethan, and Jack, they ended up with something like 21 points. How many?
So Jack and Rudy and Ethan got 15.
They both got 15. Right, sorry.
No way.
No, sorry. Rudy and Chis got 16 in the end.
16. So they're in the lead. So 16 is the score to beat.
Yeah.
All right.
And there are three picture guess the player clues, and then you'll get 6 questions. Between
the pigs can help each other, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So George, do you want to put the first picture up?
Yeah.
There we go. Have we had this one?
It's Ryan Longman.
That's easy.
It is Ryan Longman.
And for maximum points, that's Chiz in the background blurred out. He actually looks quite good there. Best I've seen
him. That is Ryan Longman. George, can we get the next one? Or are we gonna have to sack George again?
The best five-a-side player at Wimbledon, Mr. Longman.
There you go. Who is that? Oh.
Yeah, I reckon that's Glyn Hodges, the gaffer.
Do you reckon it's down the left wing that is? He's going down the left
definitely him. Definitely the gaffer.
Definitely Glyn Hodges. Do you know what? It's bugging me. The Spurs player nearest to him, it's bugging me who that is. I recognise that. I can't think of the name. But, oh well.
Was it Steve Hodge and Gary Stevens?
Gary Stevens.
And if you lads can recognise yourselves in the stands, or what?
Well, I'd have been too young, of course, but Stu probably, Anne-Marie probably too young.
No, I won at that game.
No.
Never went to Berlin, unfortunately.
That kit looks like probably what? I don't know, 87, 88, I would have thought. Looks an old kit, doesn't it?
It looks about the FA Cup time kit, yeah. Next one, George.
Marcus False.
There you go. Looks like Bolton away.
Yeah, that is Bolton away.
Sanders there next to him. So there we go. 6 points. Is that right?
Notice themselves in the crowd there. Someone put up on Glenn's left shoulder.
Who was that? I'll have to have a look. Someone come up. Right, questions. These are home or away questions. So you get to choose whether you want to go home or go away. Ollie, do you want to start? Do you want a home question or an away question? A home question is worth 1 point and an away question is worth 3 points. Away. First question is, how many goals has Ryan Longman scored in all competitions this season?
I think I know this.
I think it's 6. Is that right, Pigs?
Yeah.
6.
6. Correct. 3 points. Taking that to 9 points already. Okay. Joe, home or away?
I was go for it. Oh, we'll go away, please.
Go away. Who are currently bottom of League One?
Burton Albion.
Burton Albion. Definitely. Yes, indeed. Another 3 points. You're already within 4 points of taking this.
Listen, you don't mess with.
I tell you what,
the big boys up top. Simple
P
as
and
that.
P. This is it.
Simple.
Next one, home or away, Ollie?
Yeah, we'll keep going away. We're going to go maximum points here.
Now, I'm not going to lie. If you keep going away, I don't think Stu's written enough questions, but we're okay for the time being. The next away question is, what player has been in the most number of squads this season? So match day squads this season in all competitions.
That's tough because...
That is a very hard one.
Do you know what? I tell you, it's
Say again, sorry.
Nah, it's not, because he was ill for one game, weren't he?
Yeah, but in match day squads, are you talking about starting? What's the...
Nah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
No, just whether they've been on the bench or in the first team, whether they've come on or not, just if they've been named in a squad.
It's got to be Tans.
Nick Zanev?
Yeah, you're right, mate. Yeah, it has to be.
It's Terrell Thomas, apparently.
No chance.
26 times.
Not a chance.
Apparently so.
Not a chance.
Really?
He's been ill and injured, and Tans is on the bench for every single game. Not a chance. Not having it.
Stu, you're going to have to do a steward's inquiry onto this one. Stewart's inquiry. See what I did there.
I will confirm it. I will send it over. I go on a transfer market.
If you're talking about bench, if it's squad, bench, and starting, then it's Tans.
We will have a look.
We'll have a look.
I'm not going to argue with Ollie.
We'll keep you on. We'll keep you on 12 points for the time being. Joe, home or away?
How many more questions have we got, Nick?
2 more questions. They only get 5 questions, Nick.
George, they not get two choices each?
They only get 5 questions altogether.
Oh, Frozen, of course.
All right. So how many more have we got? 2.
2 more questions.
And what are we on?
You're on question 4 out of 5.
Now, how many points are we on?
You're on 12.
Have we got another round? No. All right, we'll go away, of course.
Got to go after.
Do you want me to ask this one, Nick?
If you've got them, Anne-Marie, because I had a bit of another dodgy...
I've got a quick question. Are we live? Are we live on like...
Yeah.
Live
on Zoom.
The nation.
To the nation, yeah.
On Zoom? Okay, so people logged into Zoom. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So, what? So, do you say away, yeah? Mm-hmm. For 3 points?
Pig said away.
Which player has had the most substitute appearances this season?
Ooh.
Pigs.
Most appearances.
I'm going to go with Chiz for you, mate.
Are you?
The thing is, Chiz.
I've got a feeling Harty's up there as well.
Who?
I've got a feeling Harty's up there as well.
Not subbed on. No, he's not been subbed on a lot.
Yeah, go on, go Chiz. We'll go Chiz.
3 points in the bag, absolutely.
Know my stuff.
One step closer to not having to clean boots for the whole week, apparently.
Is that what it is?
That's the
You get a
forfeit.
pick. You get a pick.
You
The
get to
winning
pick.
team picks the forfeit.
Oh,
Love that, George. George, we'll get you down the training grounds, video them as well.
Definitely.
Get them on.
So there's one final question. Nick, do you want to
Yeah, sure. I've got them. So,
game changer?
Joe, last question. Home or
It's
away?
Ollie.
Ollie time, sorry.
Yeah.
Ollie,
Wait,
home
just-
or away?
for me.
Away?
Madness. Yeah, away. Just keep it away. We're on maximum points here.
Okay, I think you'll stay there as well. With how many bookings has Joe Pigott got this season in all competitions?
Oh, pretty sure I've got. I think it's either one or two.
Work them out. Work them out.
Yeah, I've got booked for descent, kicking the ball away, and then I did an awful tackle in one game. I think it was like
Yeah, booked at Charlton.
no. Well, I've been captain most games. Well, for a lot of the games, and so I've tried to be the ref's best mate. Go two, Ollie. We'll go two.
All right, 2 in the buzzer. Go on.
According to Stu, it's 3
Oh, it's wrong.
3.
All
Apparently so.
competitions or league?
in all
Oh.
competitions.
Oh, I thought it was just league.
Oh, sorry, no, all competitions.
That's all right.
We need clarity in the questions, please.
We need to sort it out. We need to work out whether Terrell Thomas was indeed the answer to the first one, because I think without it, are we level pegging Anne-Marie then?
Yeah.
No, you're on 5th. You're on 15, assuming that Stu marks you wrong for the Terrell Thomas question. So
Well,
Dan Rudy would be the
I'm not
winner.
going to argue with the top 2, so they can have that question.
In that case, these are our winners.
There you go.
Yeah, winners on a technicality. You love to see it.
It's like VAR. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Trust me, if it's just on squad as a whole, then it's definitely Tans. He's not missed a game.
It does stand. It stands to reason. To be fair. Yeah.
He's on the bench every single game.
Yeah.
And T's missed quite a few just through illness.
We're going to go with it. We're going to say that Ollie and Joe, you get to set Ethan, Jack, Anthony, and Alex a forfeit for the training ground. Maybe get Rocket to have a word. We'll have a word with Rocket, see if he can film it. Whatever you decide to get him to do.
Rocket is he still logged on? Is he? Can you see?
Have a look. Have a look. He might have.
Rocket's still here.
Still here.
Rocket, what do you want the lads to do, mate? Can you type?
He can type in the chat.
You can
They can iron some of our match shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can steam mine before the game. When I come into Plough Lane next week against Sunderland, I want all my shirts to be steamed.
I want our jackets put on before we walk out on the pitch. By the lads, I want them to put my jacket on, my pre-match jacket.
I want my jacket all nice and
dipped up for me.
Steamed. And then a couple of hand warmers in either pocket as well.
Nice. Sounds like a plan. Gents, thank you very much for taking time this evening to spend with us and spend with the fans watching.
No problems at all.
Much appreciated. We say all the best for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Starting with Bristol Rovers obviously on Tuesday and Sunderland next week. And Stu and I and Anne-Marie will get on the case of getting crumpets in the stadium for when we return.
Get some more crumpets, guys.
Yeah, definitely. We're on the case. Right. Cheers, lads. Thank you very much.
Cheers, lads. Thank you very much for joining us.
Everyone. Later. Bye.
See you later.
There you go.
And I guess just cheers to say everyone for joining us this evening, for watching, for asking questions. Sorry we couldn't get them all asked. Apologies on behalf of Virgin Media for my horrendous internet. But no, it's been good. Thank you very much, Stu.
I have
Thank
to
you,
say,
Anne-Marie.
we found out a lot of stuff, haven't we? The crumpets.
The crumpets.
It was very revealing. Yeah, absolutely.
We should have had Jack Rudoni on with Ollie Palmer, shouldn't we? We should have done a free because I think we would have got a bit of stick.
There's always a next time, Stu.
So we'll get that forfeit recorded on there. And like I say, we hope people have enjoyed it. We'll try.
Stu's passed out with the excitement. It's too much for him.
Oh dear. We'll try and do it again. Maybe a couple of months or something, and we'll get some players on the format. Let us know what the format's like. We've enjoyed it. I think we saved the best for last. Ollie and Joe must be an absolute handful in that dressing room.
P&P, that's what I'm saying.
Crumpets flying everywhere, Stu.
I don't like crumpets though, because you put too much milk. You put too much butter on it.
That's why you're getting it wrong, Stu. That's why you don't like them. Stop pouring your milk in your crumpets.
And it literally drips everywhere. It just goes everywhere, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, hey, look, I would say, good luck tomorrow. We ain't got a game tomorrow. We have no game. And Tuesday, Nick's favourite competition.
Saying nothing. But
found out tonight you definitely don't get a Papa John's at the end of it. Pigs was saying.
Yes.
To be fair, it is always Domino's. When I used to go with Trevor Rocket or some away games, it's always Domino's. Although the best one we did have, Northampton away, have a KFC on the fly bit. And one time I went with Claire, Trev's partner. We went there. We literally got. I've never seen so many bags of chicken in my life for their journey back.
Where was this? Sorry,
this was at Northampton.
Cobblers.
Yes. So I'm not surprised. It's always pizzas, to be fair, but that's it, isn't it?
It is what it is. Cool. Right, Anne-Marie, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, guys, and just hope that everyone looks after each other and just try. Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get back to Plough Lane, and we just got to stay positive and.
Yeah, it will come. Stay safe, everyone, and we hope we're back to a ground at some point this year.
Yeah, thank you again for joining us. Thank you, George, for sorting out all the technical side behind the scenes. And,
yes, cheers, George.
And we will. If you haven't yet, please download the podcast released this morning. Have a listen to that. 9wirespodcast.org, and we'll speak to you again soon. See you all later.
Take care, guys.